Real Hi, Laura Stevenson's Life. How are you?
I only opened mine 4 times now.
What did you open 4 times?
The new live.
Oh, okay. Laura Stevenson, welcome. Let me see. Real Hi, Laura Stevenson's Life. How are
only
you?
opened.
Sorry. So, so we were before the sale, which we had. So, Laura, I don't know if you know, we had a sale. And we were looking at this Delphi stuff because it's very perplexing that they have not had a verdict in now, how many days is it? They started deliberating Thursday, Friday. Today was the third day. Um, Thursday wasn't a full day, granted, but still, they're not going to do anything Sunday. Who'd we lose? Oh,
That's Sharon coming in.
okay. Just make sure she knows we're
I think
live.
it was Linda. Linda fell off.
Just Sharon, we're live. You know that, right?
Thank you. No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live.
So it was,
Fine.
there's no verdict, and we're wondering, people are getting scared now. Is it going to be a hung jury? Is it going to be an acquittal? Hi, Justice Jane. How are you? So we started to look back. Kevin was up all night researching with Gail B. and M.E. Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah.
And was there anybody else? No. And they were looking at a bunch of stuff. So then we started going through that before the auction. We got down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And there's things like we have a lot of questions, and maybe you have the same kind of questions. Maybe you know the answers. I'll tell you my questions first, then everybody else can tell you theirs. His Carhartt jacket, the blue Carhartt jacket, first of all, it's fully possible that he bought a new one between 2017 and 2022 when he was arrested. But even if that was bloody and muddy like that woman described him, he could have thrown that out there. No one was looking for it. He could have thrown it anywhere and bought a new one. Carhartt jackets, they haven't changed their style in years. How would you ever know unless they literally went to wherever they sell Carhartt, Tractor Supplies, Rural King, wherever the heck it is, and saw that he had a receipt buying a new Carhartt jacket. But if he had the same Carhartt jacket and he had washed it, which is very possible if he got to it fast, that mud and blood would have come out. There's still DNA that's in that blood that will still react with something. Did they ever test this jacket? Okay, so that's one of my questions that I can't seem to find an answer for. Second, do they know what kind of shoes Bridge Guy was wearing? Did they ever find something similar that Richard Allen had? But the chances are that 5 years finding that so freaking rare. So besides all that, what was the other question I had? Really with the jacket, did they test it? And what about the girls' phones? That was my other question. Did they find any communication with the girls and Richard Allen at all? Because was there anything? Were they meeting him? Were there any messages? Haven't heard anything about that. So those are my questions. Scooter, Kevin, what do you got? Any questions?
My question is about, can we say names? About Hagen
Keegan?
or Keegan, sorry. Him being involved in this off the get-go, but then I don't understand how they dropped him as a suspect when he set up a fake profile and was in contact with the girls.
Right. And he also brought them out to some river. I think it was in Wisconsin. What the heck were they doing out there? And they said they were going to have a surprise witness and had transportation papers for him, allegedly. What happened to that?
Right.
We need to look up that stuff, yeah.
It makes me kind of wonder, what did he tell on people or something to get him out of it?
Yeah, Justice Jane says we won't have any of those answers until or if we are allowed transcripts, in my opinion. Yeah, I know, Justice Jane, but I didn't even see that like in their closing arguments where they talked about, they said there was no DNA, nothing to link him. So that would mean that they either didn't test the Carhartt jacket or there wasn't anything on it. You know what I mean? It's like,
As far as that goes, in 5 years' time, he could replace the shoes, jeans, and the
yeah,
jacket.
absolutely. Absolutely.
5 years' time, the shoes are walking in them and everything's going to look worn.
Yeah.
They're not going to look brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Debbie, you got my question.
Do you remember what he brought them out to that river for? People thought they were looking for a gun, but I don't know why Keegan Klein brought them out to that river.
I just sent you on Messenger, Carolyn, that
All right.
Keegan Klein's appeal, it's court papers. That's all I know right now on him. I don't know if that'll help or not.
And he was going to meet them under the fake profile name, too.
It shows him
Exactly.
with young girls. I couldn't really read it on my phone. It's
I'll
small.
look it up because I can't show a video, but I can look it up. Let
No,
me
it's,
see.
yeah, it's court papers.
Because they looked into him and his dad both, and that's when they found all of the child stuff.
And I think he set it
Probably
up
look on
and
there and
Alan went
read
to it. He set it up and Alan went to meet the girls.
See, back in 2022, they said that leaked discovery, remember that leaked, seems to indicate, it said, let's see what it said. There's an interview with Keegan Klein, and they said, does this mean there's, that he was involved with this leaked discovery? And a lot of
He
people
wasn't involved?
well,
Is-
that yes, in the leaked discovery. Remember when that first came out with all that
Yeah.
Anthony Schatz profile and all of that? They said, yeah, that they thought he was involved. Okay, they thought he was that whole catfishing thing, and that maybe he was the one that set it up and got the girls
Well, I
there.
thought he did. I thought they were there to meet who they thought they were talking to, which was him.
Right. So this is like the leaked discovery. That is the time they said evidence. Allen's vehicles. Allen's 2006 Ford 500 SE. And then what did they put here? Allen's 2016 Ford Focus. Allen's 2008 Ford Focus. Allen's 2011 Ford Focus. We had 3 Ford Focuses. Allen's motorcycles. Then they put composite sketches. I don't really know what this is about. And then a bunch of other stuff. But I want to see what Keegan, why he brought them to that river.
And why he was never brought in to testify.
I know they said they were going to be 2 surprise witnesses. And then that judge seems pretty.
I think it needs to be a hung jury and they need to start over because
With
there's
the-
too many
In a bigger
people like that.
courthouse with cameras.
Well,
With-
not just
well-
that, but there's too many unanswered questions.
Right.
Exactly.
I
Okay,
think
Too
so
many
they need-
people
they need
that
a-
were involved.
They need
Like
a
I know
different judge on
dad-
this.
they can't bring the dad because he died, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he was involved in it too.
And I find it very hard to believe that there's not a shred of DNA anywhere.
Well, gloves, I mean, there's ways
Yeah,
to
but
Something,
not
hair,
any-
something.
anywhere. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
do what?
Well,
What'd
he
you
could have shook out and made them shake out their clothes or,
What,
you
what
know.
about the witness that changed her story twice? He's in a brown coat with mud on it. Then he's in the Carhartt jacket with blood all over it.
And she said she never said that. But the detective wrote it down, so.
And the judge, why are they not, why is she dismissing and even an FBI agent to come in and testify?
There's a whole nother story on her.
what about all the
Right,
people
but I'm
that
just saying, if I feel like whoever said a hung jury and retry this, but I also feel like they
Me.
need a different judge too.
Yes.
Yeah, and why'd she yell at the jurors for talking? What was that about? And then someone said, who was the person in here that said that they were not allowed to speak at all after Thursday,
Slam.
after the closing arguments?
Slam RM.
Slam, yeah, they weren't allowed to speak at all. And then the jurors got admonished by the judge for talking. Now, we don't know in what capacity they were talking, but I mean, judges usually don't yell at the juries. I mean, even when they fall asleep, they tell them, "Oh, just stretch," and because these people are taking time out of their lives and being paid nothing
Well,
to
I
be
know
there.
what Slam was referring to.
What?
Yeah,
Because
don't be yelling
the
at me.
person I was listening to, when they, okay, she said, you know how when they have like a sidebar and they play that static stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, she said, you know, that they were all sitting there in their seats or whatever, and they were playing that static stuff so that no one could hear. So obviously they were all sitting there talking, you know, to their neighbor. And she said, then all of a sudden the judge yelled for all of them to, you know, or the bailiff or whoever yelled for all of them to shut up and not say a word.
Yeah, I
or
would have
something.
gotten up and walked out.
Yeah.
To be treated like
that.
that, to
Yeah.
be this judge is making how much to do this case, and they're getting
Right.
$20, maybe $40 a day, and she's going to yell at them,
Right.
and like that. Like, oh my gosh, I would have just said, "Well, I'm sorry. See you later."
She said they all just, you know, were super quiet then because they were afraid they were going to get thrown out.
She
These
said
were the
that if you do it again,
spectators.
you're going to be thrown out. You don't have to throw me out. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's really
Interesting.
disrespectful to the jury, and judges usually are not disrespectful to the jury.
No, I'm saying that was to the spectators.
No,
That's
it
what I
said
was-
no. I heard that she yelled at the jurors. That's what
Okay,
I read
well,
from a
okay,
news
it was talking
reporter.
about spectators that
Oh
time.
no,
Okay,
yeah.
This whole thing has been bizarre, like, I don't know.
But they were talking only because that static thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Everybody does it. If you watch, you know, when they have cameras in there, they do it. They talk to each other. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Just sit there and listen to that noise? Yeah, that judge is, yeah, she needs to go.
I think fine.
And he could have definitely bought a new coat.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you confess so many times? Not just once or twice, but how many times did he confess?
Exactly.
60? Over and over and over. And that whole thing where they were trying to say it was, you know, a whole bunch of them, it was a ritual. That fell through.
Okay, so there's this other thing. Let me see here. About this judge, they wanted her to recuse herself from the case because let me see, where's the papers?
He was so hateful.
I think this one. Let me see. Yeah, notice of conflict. Okay, let me pull this
I
over
want to
here.
tell you, they filed 30 pages on her.
Okay, here it is.
Who did?
I'm gonna pull it up now over here.
Who did, Kevin? The defense or?
The defense.
All right, yeah, this is State of Indiana, County of Carroll, State of Indiana versus Richard Allen in the Carroll County Court. This comes now, the accused Richard Allen, by and through counsel, and filed his response to the court's May 31st, 2024 order or judgment of the court and notice of conflict. In support of said motion, Mr. Allen states the following. On May 31st, 2024, this court issued its order of judgment of the court concerning the defense's request to have Judge Gall disqualified. 2. Contained in said order were several errors. The defense is filing this motion to preserve those errors for future courts if needed, and to notify the court that due to the new information learned in her order, a conflict has been revealed which has caused Judge Gull to become a witness. The defense files this response and notice for purposes of maintaining a record and does not wish for this pleading to delay future hearings from taking place, particularly hearings related to the defense's request to transfer Richard Allen out of the Department of Corrections, which is most urgent of the pending matters that need litigated. Also, the defense's response is intended to provide correct information to Judge Gull as she continues to self-evaluate her obligation to
Leave it
recuse
alone.
herself from the case, should she believe that bias or the appearance of bias exists. So Judge Gull failed to inform the defense that Carroll County Sheriff's Office fabricated facts in a report filed in her court. Now, what is that about? The Carroll County Sheriff's Office fabricated facts in a report filed in her court. In his motion to disqualify, Mr. Allen noted that according to a June 14, 2023 report filed by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, hereinafter CCSO, Judge Gull advised the CCSO that it could ignore a valid defense subpoena for Westville Correctional Facility inmate Robert Baston and refused to transport him to the June 15, 2023 hearing on Mr. Allen's emergency motion to modify safekeeping order. The defense further alleges in its motion to disqualify this because of Judge Gull's actions. The defense was without a key witness for the hearing. Okay, it was anticipated that the June 15th hearing, Mr. Baston would testify as to the harsh, abusive, and unconstitutional treatment of Richard Allen at Westville Correctional Facility. The failure of the CCSO to transport the witness from Westville left Mr. Allen without crucial evidence for the hearing, thereby subverting justice for him. However, in her May 31st, 2024 order, Judge Gull claims that she never advised the CCSO to ignore the subpoena and leave Baston behind. Judge Gull's claim contradicts the CCSO's report that this court received on June 20th. The June 14th report, which was ordered by the court, stated the following. On June 14th, I, Special Deputy Wisaki Bryan, while on duty, was conducting transport from Westville Correctional Facility to the Carroll County Jail. Upon my arrival, I was escorted to Baston Richard, DOC 209210, Segregation Unit to conduct the pickup. After waiting, a corrections officer approached and told me Baston is refusing to come out of his cell and told the corrections officer, F you can't make me go. The corrections officer told me they will do a cell extraction to get him to my transport vehicle. I told the corrections officer to stand by, let me make a few phone calls. I was escorted back to the main gate where I was greeted by John Gallipo. I called Carroll County Jail Commander Lori Sestarsik, who I explained the situation to. She then made a phone call to the Chief Deputy, Toby Liensby, who contacted Judge Francis Gull's office to inform them of the situation. Judge Gull's office advised to leave Baston there if he did not want to attend the court hearing that is scheduled for 6/15/2023. I then spoke with Warden Gallipo and asked him if he could provide me with a letter stating that Baston refused to come out of his cell and that he did not want to go. Warden Gallipo agreed he would. He later advised he would bring me the letter on 6/15/2023 to the Carroll County Courthouse so I could attach it to his report, nothing further. The report was approved by Toby Liazenby, who is a key witness in this case. Juxtaposed to the CCSO report is Judge Gull's May 31st, 2024 order in which she stated the decision by the deputy to leave without the witness was his and was not directed by the court. What? The first time that Richard Allen's counsel learned of these contradictory stories was in Judge Gull's May 31st, 2024 order of judgment of the court. Judge Gull has possessed this report since June 20th. Upon receiving this report nearly a year ago, Judge Gull never notified Mr. Allen's attorneys of the misrepresentation contained in the report as it related to her purported involvement in the failure to transport Mr. Baston to the hearing. At the very moment of learning the CCSO filed a report with fabricated facts concerning Judge Gull, she should have immediately alerted Mr. Allen's attorneys of the misrepresentation contained in the report. Further, upon Judge Gull learning of the misrepresentation contained in the report, which undermined the evidence Mr. Allen was able to present, Judge Gull never reset the hearing, so Mr. Allen could present the very evidence Judge Gull said was lacking when she denied Mr. Allen's emergency motion to vacate safekeeping order. Additionally, as this court is aware, Mr. Allen has filled 4 Frank's motions indicating that law enforcement has acted intentionally or in bad faith. Also, as this court is aware, Mr. Allen has filed 2 separate motions to dismiss based upon law enforcement's destruction of evidence. One of those motions was heard on March 18, 2024, with the court denying said motion on April 2, 2024. To prevail on a motion to dismiss, as it relates to the destruction of potential useful evidence, the motion to dismiss requires the defense to prove that law enforcement acted in bad faith. At the March 18, 2024 hearing, defense counsel was attempting to provide evidence to the court that law enforcement has acted in bad faith over the course of this case. At the time, the court was aware that law enforcement had fabricated facts contained in the June 14, 2023 report, thereby acting in bad faith, yet this court never alerted the defense, and therefore law enforcement's bad faith was not made part of the record. Even if this court would still claim that such a fabrication in a report would not have changed her ruling on the motion to dismiss, the fact is that the defense was not able to include the information on the record for the Court of Appeals, should it be necessary. Additionally, had Judge Gull alerted Mr. Allen's attorneys of Carroll County Sheriff's fabricated statement in the report, the defense could have used the fabricated statement when pursuing their Frank's motions and motions to dismiss in order to provide additional evidence of intentionality and bad faith on the part of the CCSO. Furthermore, by failing to provide the information Mr. Allen's attorneys, Judge Gull prevented the defense from investigating this fabricated story, including through depositions. Judge Gull should have alerted Mr. Allen's attorneys of CCSO's fabricated facts written in their police report well before March 18, 2024's motion to dismiss, and her failure to do so provides a rational inference of bias. Judge Gull is now a witness in this matter as to Toby Liazenbai's credibility. Given that Judge Gull is the only individual who knows that she did not direct the CCSO's office to ignore the subpoena and leave Mr. Baston at Westville, despite the contrary assertions that in the CCSO's report, she has become a witness to Toby Liazenbai's truthfulness and to the fact that the information contained in CCSO's report is false. What?
Yeah. Not that I'm my cat, but
The credibility of a witness is always an issue for the jury. If Judge Gull's story is correct, then she has a ringside seat to the intentional behavior of the CCSO and or the bad faith of the CCSO in that it intentionally ignored a valid defense subpoena for a defense witness and then fabricated a story in a police report claiming that the sitting judge on the case authorized the CCSO to ignore the valid defense subpoena. In this scenario, Judge Gull is a witness. At future hearings and at trial, the defense should have the ability to cross-examine Toby Liazenbai on these contradictory stories with questions similar to the following. Attorney: Mr. Liazenbai, the defense attempted to bring a witness named Robert Baston to testify at a hearing concerning his observation of guards abusing Richard Allen in a variety of ways at Westville, but your office ignored a valid subpoena to bring that witness to a hearing. Isn't that right? Attorney: You did not want the judge to hear the testimony of that witness because it would support the defense's contention that Richard Allen was being abused and should be moved to the Cass County Jail, closer to both his family and attorneys and away from the abuse. Attorney,
Carolyn?
you wanted, yeah.
I need to interrupt for one moment. I have an announcement.
What?
The jury is back.
Get out.
Oh,
No
she's such a
way.
liar.
Okay, carry on.
Attorney, you wanted Richard Allen to remain in the Westville prison so that he would continue to be housed far away from his attorneys and family while emotionally vulnerable to the abuse he was suffering at Westville. Attorney, worse yet, you then lied in a report claiming that Judge Gull advised you that it was okay to leave Baston behind. You lied about that in your report? Attorney, Judge Gull never told you that it was okay to ignore a valid defense subpoena, did she? Attorney, I am handing you Exhibit 85, which is the June 14, 2023 report from CCSA, in which you claim that Judge Gull gave the directive allowing you to ignore the subpoena, etc. Because the defense is claiming that law enforcement acted in bad faith, and bad faith is an important component of its motions to dismiss, as well as the 4 Franks notices, it must be able to call Judge Gull to the stand to testify concerning the false statements contained in the CCSO's June 14th report. Judge Gull's testimony is especially vital concerning the defense's motion to modify the safekeeping order, as well as their Franks motions and motions to dismiss. Calling Judge Gull to the stand to testify as to the fabricated facts contained in the report is especially important when the very witness who is the subject of the report, Robert Baston, would have testified about Richard Allen's treatment at Westville, which directly led to the deterioration of his mental state and false statements concerning his involvement in the crime. The defense's plans on issuing subpoenas and calling Judge Gull to the stand at future hearings and at a trial to testify that she never directed CCSO to ignore a valid subpoena and never advised CCSO to leave Robert Baston behind if he, Baston, did not want to attend the June 15th hearing. Judge Gull should recuse herself in this matter, as she is now a witness in the proceedings. Judge Gull's failure to admonish the CCSO may cause law enforcement to believe that they can create fabricated stories in this case with no consequences. Despite having the CCSO report since June 20th, to this day, Judge Gull has failed to admonish the CCSO for filing a report that contains such a flagrant falsehood and which is arguably an attempt to cover up their illegal actions in ignoring a valid defense subpoena. But maybe she's lying.
I'm confused. Who's telling the truth?
Oh, that's what I mean. So they're saying that she said leave Baston there. She's saying she never said it, but she's not correcting it with them. So maybe she's just lying.
Okay, but who did he talk to? So, wait a minute. I thought another lady called the courthouse.
Not another lady, but when he came in, and he wouldn't come in and they told her, then she said, I never said that.
Right, but I'm saying when he was there to pick him up and he wouldn't come out, he said, let me make some phone calls.
And then he said that, yeah, then they said that they called, let me see, they said,
he talked to a lady who called the courthouse.
and the judge said, leave him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. Judge Gull's office advised to leave Baston there if he did not want to attend the court hearing that is scheduled.
Advised who?
The chief made a phone call to Chief Deputy Toby Liansby, who contacted Judge Francis Gull's office
There you go.
to
Okay, so
inform them of the situation. Judge Gull
she's lying.
advised to leave Baston there.
She's lying. There's too many people that knows what she said.
Right. So that's what I'm saying, and she's not correcting it, so I think they're just doing this to prove she's lying.
She needs to be disbarred.
Let's see, Judge Gull's failure to admonish, and then Judge Gull continues to errantly accuse the defense of improper filing of ex parte documents. In its May 31st order, this court continued to claim that the defense is to blame for the ex parte pleadings that were accessible to the prosecution. Now, ex parte stuff is supposed to just be from the defendant or whoever it is, just it's to the judge. Nobody else's eyes should be on it. So I guess it was accessible to the prosecution. On March 7th, 2024, Attorney Rozzi alerted Judge Gull about his grave concerns surrounding McLeland receiving the ex parte documents. It took Judge Gull 13 days to respond to the urgent matter. In her March 20th, 2024 emailed response, Judge Gull wrote to defense counsel, "I would encourage you to educate your staff on how to properly file pleadings." Attached is a printout from the DocsPop filing process of February 26, 2024 ex parte document. The court staff mishandled, causing accessibility of the document to the prosecutor. Exhibit A. It should be noted that upon receiving the pleading, the court staff would see in bold print in capital letters at the top of the pleading and the following: ex parte pleading to be placed under seal, which should have easily alerted court staff to the ex parte nature of the document, causing them to follow the proper procedures in processing an ex parte pleading. The staff for the defense filed the ex parte documents correctly. The DocsPop printout shows that the only service contacts listed on this ex parte filing were Brad Rozzi and Andrew Baldwin, not Nicholas McLeland, James Luttrell, or Stacy Diner. Furthermore, the printout shows that all the documents were marked as confidential. There is nothing else further that the defense can do to prevent these documents from being made public or misdirected to the prosecution. After the defense correctly files the ex parte document, the defense must then trust that the court staff has been properly trained on how to navigate an ex parte filing, whether it is filed using the Odyssey or DocsPop platforms. In this case, after the defense correctly filed the ex parte motion, somehow court staff erred in how it processed the document into the system, causing prosecutor McLeland to have access to the ex parte document. In her May 31st, 2024 order, Judge Gull detailed how she sent the defense a tutorial paper authored by JTAC explaining the process. The court implied in said order that she sent the tutorial to the defense in order to assist the defense in learning the proper process on how to file the ex parte motion. Judge Gull's presumption that this tutorial assisted the defense is inaccurate for 3 reasons. The defense was not errant filing the ex parte documents. The tutorial that Judge Gull sent to the defense had nothing to do with assisting practicing lawyers on how to file ex parte documents, and the defense continued to file ex parte documents in the exact same manner it had been filing before Judge Gull ever sent the tutorial to the defense, and there were no issues. The tutorial Judge Gull emailed to counsel is actually intended to assist court staff and clerks in how to properly handle ex parte documents after the private practitioner has filed the ex parte documents. In other words, the document that Judge Gull refers to in her order does not in any way assist the practicing lawyer in filing ex parte documents, as it is a tutorial for court staff. Please find the attached printout of the tutorial that Judge Gull sent the defense, marked Exhibit B, which also includes the cheat sheet referenced in the letter from the Office of Court Services. Even though on its face this tutorial clearly appears directed to assist court staff in understanding how to process and accept ex parte filings, the defense staff still reviewed the tutorial sent by Judge Gull to determine whether any part of the tutorial was meant to assist a practicing attorney in how to file an ex parte document. It does not. When defense staff clicked on the link detailed in Step 1 and attempted to sign in, they were presented with a prompt that states, "You are not authorized to use this site." That's because, again, the tutorial that Judge Gull proclaimed in her order as helpful to the defense was actually meant for court staff. Okay, so she really screwed that up. An ex parte pleading should never be seen by anybody but the person that, filled it out and wrote it, and the judge.
Wow.
And it went to the prosecution. They saw it. And then she said they filed it wrong, and then she sent them instructions on how to file it that was meant for the staff and how to deal with it when they receive it from an attorney.
So her staff's not trained right?
No, I think she had an error and she tried to cover her butt by saying they didn't file it right. And here's some instructions, but she sent them instructions that were meant for her staff. And the lawyers said they know how to file ex parte pleadings and they've done it before and they've never had an error before. How come now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Judge
She's
Gold,
going.
yeah, it's crazy, has failed to admonish Prosecutor McLeland for improperly reading the ex parte pleadings when continuing to denigrate defense counsel. The pleadings errantly made accessible to Prosecutor McLeland were clearly marked ex parte. The defense became aware that Prosecutor McLeland read the ex parte documents based upon a March 6, 2024 prosecution filing, which the prosecution directly quoted from the defense's ex parte filing from February 26 of 2024. The document was clearly marked in capital letters at the top of this document, ex parte pleading to be placed under seal. After reading Prosecutor McLeland's March 6 filing and realizing that McLeland had reviewed a defense ex parte document, Attorney Rossi, that's one of the defense attorneys, sent an email to Judge Gull and one of Judge Gull's staff members, as well as to Nick McLeland. Find the attached copy of said email, Exhibit C. That email respectfully questioned how an ex parte motion was made accessible to the prosecution. Then on March 7th, Prosecutor McLeland filed a pleading in which he finally admitted that he had access to 3 other ex parte filings. Despite the clear marking of ex parte on the documents, Prosecutor McLeland chose to read them, rather than promptly deleting them and alerting the defense of the misdirected filing as required under Indiana Rule of Professional Conduct. A lawyer who receives a document relating to the representation of a lawyer's client and knows or reasonably should know that the document was inadvertently sent shall promptly notify the sender. Prosecutor McLeland never contacted defense counsel after receiving the ex parte documents as required. The defense only learned of the violation upon reviewing McLeland's March 6th pleading, in which McLeland audaciously quoted directly from the document, thereby making the quote available for public view. The act of McLeland reading from the defense's ex parte documents provided the prosecution with an entirely improper glimpse into the manner in which Mr. Allen's attorneys would be defending him. This is yet another example of a subversion of Richard Allen's due process rights. This court has failed to reprimand the prosecution for reading ex parte documents or even address that issue in any way whatsoever, nor has Judge Gull filed a pleading in which she publicly proclaimed that she is referring Nick McLeland to the Office of Judicial and Attorney Regulation, Executive Director Adrian Meering, for the office to enforce the rules or determine counsel's ethical misconduct. The court publicly declared in its April 30th order that it was referring defense counsel to the Office of Judicial and Attorney Regulation concerning a short and bland press release that defense counsel sent out to the media sources when no gag order was in place and after the prosecution and law enforcement had conducted multiple press conferences and issued multiple press releases over the course of the investigation. Meanwhile, on the much more serious allegation of McLeland reviewing ex parte documents, Judge Gull has said or done nothing. Judge Gull is clearly treating the prosecution differently than the defense counsel, and this provides a rational inference of bias. So you get that? They got reprimanded and sent to this regulation council for a press release. Meanwhile, there was nothing against the prosecutor who read multiple ex parte documents.
They're all messing up, every one of them. This is
crazy.
just a mess.
This court offered its hand-picked public defenders an opportunity for a hearing on the Franks motion, but denied the same opportunity for attorneys Baldwin and Rossi. In her May 31st order denying the defense's request for disqualification, the court maintained that it has no bias against the defense counsel. On January 22nd, 2024, the court denied Baldwin and Rozzi's request for a Franks hearing. At that point in time, the court had failed to rule on the Franks request for over 4 months, yet within 4 days of the re-entering their appearances on the case, Judge Gull denied their request without hearing. However, after Baldwin and Rozzi were taken off the case in October of 2023, Judge Gull informed her newly handpicked public defenders that they should review prior counsel's pleadings and either adopt those pleadings or make their own. In that November 14, 2023 CCS entry, it was memorialized that Judge Gull informed the new public defenders that if the defendant's new counsel informed the court they intend to pursue the Franks motion, the court will schedule a hearing. Such action demonstrates that this court is punishing Richard Allen due to her bias against the attorneys Baldwin and Rozzi, in that after they re-entered their appearances, she quickly denied Allen's original counsel a hearing on the Franks motion, while offering the replacement public defenders an opportunity to have a Franks hearing soon after their appearance on the case. This treatment of attorney Baldwin and Rozzi compared to this court's treatment of the prosecution and even of the replacement public defenders provides a rational inference of bias against the defense counsel Baldwin and Rozzi, and therefore against Richard Allen. Okay, and in its order, the court claimed that it's irrational and unreasonable for the defense to assert that as lawyers with 70 years of combined experience, they have never had a judge provide a hard end date for a trial. Calling defense counsel irrational and unreasonable shows bias, especially when the court is wrong in its understanding of Jury Rule 4. This court unfortunately continues to malign defense counsel by calling them irrational and unreasonable for their averments that courts around the state of Indiana never set a rigid day for the trial to end. Implicitly, the court is also averring the defense counsel are lying about their experiences in other courts around the state of Indiana. Furthermore, this court maligns defense counsel concerning its knowledge of the jury rules when it is the court that's incorrect in its assessment of the jury rules. At the May 7, 2024 pretrial hearing, the court stated, "Well, you understand. Well, maybe you don't understand. Jury Rule 4 requires that I issue summonses to the jury with the dates of the trial. Jury Rule 4 requires that I issue summons to jurors with the dates." Transcript, May 7, 2024. The court cited Jury Rule 4 as a basis for limiting the time of the trial. However, Jury Rule 4 does not even discuss the length of dates of the trial or require courts to place a hard end date for a trial. Jury Rule 4 states that not later than 7 days after the date of the drawing of names for the jury pool, that the jury administrator shall mail each person whose name is drawn as a juror qualification form and notice of the period during which any services may be performed. Jury Rule 4 is primarily referring to the time span or term during which citizens need to be on the alert that they could be summoned in for jury duty. The prospective juror needs to be aware that over the course of a specific number of months, the court may summons them to appear in court as a potential juror at a later date. Jury Rule 4 further states that when summoning a prospective juror in for jury duty, that the summons shall include the following information: directions to the court, parking, public transportation, compensation, court policies regarding the use of electronic communication devices, attire, meals, how to obtain auxiliary aids, and services required by the Americans with Disabilities Act. Note Jury Rule number 4 does not require the court to provide the dates of the actual trial or the length of the actual trial, nor does Jury Rule 4 require the prospective juror to be advised of the beginning date or end date of the trial.
Yeah.
So she messed up on that too. Jury Rule 9, term of jury service states a person who appears for service as a Juror serves again at the conclusion. So she's like making all these mistakes like crazy. This is page 14 of 30, okay? Let's see what else she messed up the dates. Then we can look explanation for her denial of the defense's motion without a hearing provides a rational inference of bias. So she denied a defense motion without a hearing. How do you do that without a hearing? Let's see. She denied several defense motions without a hearing. She said if pleadings on their face are not supported by the law or admissible evidence, judicial economy does not require a hearing. So, this is crazy. What else didn't she do? Even concerning something as basic as a request for a recess, Judge Gull showed favoritism to the prosecution. Okay. Let's see what they said here. McLeland says, Judge, I have 2 witnesses. Could I ask the court for a short recess just so I could use the restroom? Judge Gull says, would counsel approach? Judge Gull says, I just want to know kind of where we're at. You've got 2 witnesses. McLeland says, Tony Leggett and the Westville warden. The judge says, okay, do you want to break for lunch? Rosie says, I don't, but I'm okay. She cuts him off. Then McLeland says, so I don't care, I can something. Judge says, yes, we can take a quick break. How long? McLeland says, I don't mean to be a pain, but no, that's all right. How long do you think you'll be? Downstairs and right back up. No, she says, I mean in your witnesses with your evidence. Oh, ding dong, I don't care how long it takes you to go there. No, I don't care about that. McLeland, I don't think too long. Tony about the transportation resources, and then Gallipo just to address allegations they made in their safekeeping. The judge says, like another hour and a half? McLeland says, I guess, I just couldn't. The judge says, let's just break for lunch. I know you don't want to, but too bad. Rosie says, I'm fine with whatever. Judge Gull says, okay, let's just break for lunch. Rosie says, I don't have anywhere else I need to be. Judge Gull says, well, I know you don't, because you were supposed to be here for 2 days. However, at the May 7th hearing, the court treated the defense much differently when the defense sought a short recess. So here's can we have a 5-minute recess? Judge Gull says, why? Rosie says, I would like to speak with my co-counsel here, and I have a discussion about the business issues such as scheduling, not here in a courtroom where everyone is listening to us. We've got, 50 staff members in this courtroom, people sitting behind. There's no privacy, and I'd like to talk to him in the hallway about some of the logistics of this so we can solve this problem so that Mr. Allen can put on a defense. The judge says, does the state of Indiana have any objection to a recess? McLeland says, no, Your Honor. Judge Gull says, all right, Jody, you can go off the record. Judge Gull did not playfully call Brad Rosie ding-dong, but instead questioned Rosie's reasons for seeking a recess. Then Judge Gull surprisingly asked the prosecutor if he had an objection to them seeking a 5-minute recess so that the defense counsel could talk to their client about important matters concerning seeking a continuance of a speedy trial due to the trial court's unwillingness to provide more time to the defense at trial. When a defense attorney requests a 5-minute recess to talk to their client on such weighty matters as their constitutional rights related to continuing a speedy trial, it could be met with a simple of course and should not require approval of the prosecutor. The fact that Judge Gull treats the defense differently on such a basic matter as a request for a recess provides a rational inference of bias. Okay, so she just seems like a jerk here. Failure to address other issues contained in their first motion to disqualify. Here's the conclusion. The defense wishes to move forward and have this court conduct hearings. Most importantly, the request to have Richard Allen removed from the DOC to either Cass or Tippecanoe County jails while awaiting trial. The motion was intended to respond to Judge Gull's order for purposes of preserving the issues for the record and so that Judge Gull may consider whether or not she feels obligated on her own to recuse herself from this case, which remains an ongoing obligation whether or not the defense is seeking her recusal. Wherefore, the defense files its response to Judge Gull's May 31st, 2024 order of judgment of the court concerning her denial of the defense's request for disqualification. So, and then these are the exhibits. This is about the ex parte filing. This is the instructions she sent for them to file the ex parte stuff that was meant for staff. So, I don't know. She sounds like a bit of a lunatic. What do you think about this judge?
Yeah, that sounds kind of, yeah, I don't know.
She should have
Very,
recused herself, I think. I don't know why she's.
She's made
sounds
some.
very different.
I would just go. But how long has she been a judge? I mean,
That's what I'm trying to see how old she is. She's been a judge in Allen Superior Court for nearly 30 years and was a
Oh.
prosecuting attorney for almost a decade before that.
She's just old and great.
That's it.
But see, it's saying here even on message boards, it says Judge Gull is doing a terrible job. Let's see.
Maybe it's time for her to retire.
Obviously, most people know next to nothing about law on here. I therefore suggest you watch the Defense Diaries podcast. Let's see. They said the most interesting part to me was the discussion of the demand for a 70-day trial. Neither side knew Indiana rule, but both had practice where the 70 days would still be paused if other motions were filed. Okay. Let's see what this is. That was even before the trial. I agree
Why
about
did
Judge
his
Gull.
one-
What?
Why did the first attorneys leave?
Well, they came back, right? These were the two that they got rid of. Then they got two public defenders. Then they came back. That was all because of that stuff that was leaked out, right? And that some intern in the office got the pictures off some conference table.
Yeah,
That was what that was all about, I believe. Yeah.
I remember.
So let's see, Judge Fran Gall. This is, let's see. She's presided over some of the most well-known murder cases. In 1999, she presided over the death penalty case of Joseph Corcoran. Corcoran, who's that? An Allen County man who killed 4 people, including his brother. He's now set to be executed on December 18th following a long pause in executions in Indiana. In 2016, she presided over the trial of Bob Leonard, one of 3 people who conspired to blow up a house in the Richmond Hill subdivision of Indianapolis as part of a failed deadly plot to collect insurance money. For the last 2 years, the longtime Allen judge has been presiding over one of Indiana's most controversial and highly publicized cases, and for much of the time she has been under intense public scrutiny and criticism, perhaps more so than any judge in the state. Whether she likes it or not, the case of Richard Allen, who's on trial this week for the 2017 murders of Delphi teenagers Abigail Abby Williams and Liberty Libby German, will likely be the one case for which she will be most remembered. Gull has issued a gag order preventing everyone involved in the case, including court personnel, from speaking publicly. Few others in the legal community have been willing to comment, in part because of the sensitivity of the case and the massive amount of publicity it has already received. Retired Morgan County Judge Jane Craney, who knows Gull, declined to comment about the case other than to describe Gull as a fine judge and a fine person with decades of experience in the judicial system. The Indiana Supreme Court appointed Gull to preside over the Delphi case in November of 2022 after Carroll Circuit Court Judge Benjamin Diner recused himself, saying no judge in the county may preside over the case that rocked the small town. I wonder if he's related to the prosecutor. They have the same last name. In one of his last words as judge in the Delphi case, Diner said the public's bloodlust for information has created an unsafe environment for all public servants involved. He cited YouTube videos that were posted of his family members while he was on the case. Wow. When the public peddles misinformation with reckless abandon, we are all not safe. So I didn't know that. They had that other judge. Who is having sleeping? Marble? Okay. All right. What happened to Scooter? Oh, there she is. Why are you a raccoon?
She's cute.
Okay.
She's really cute.
Okay, I can't take that seriously, but okay. So what else? What else does anybody have about this? Oh, we got to take a poll. Do we have to take a poll because this is getting bad? I think he might be acquitted. I don't know. I go back. They're either going to acquit him or he's going to be found guilty. I don't think we're going to have a hung jury. I don't know. Maybe we will.
I don't know anymore.
It's so messed up, all of it. They're all
It is.
making
All
mistakes.
right, let's see. Okay, let's see.
Well, they'll have a lot for appeals.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go in a couple of minutes, go get in bed.
All right, we're going to do the poll first.
Okay.
All right, there's the poll. See what happens.
I'm still gonna go with guilty verdict because that's my hope.
Okay,
Well, I
right
just
now.
hope-
Now we have the majority saying hung jury. Look at that. The votes are coming in, but it's still saying hung jury is the majority. Hung jury is still 33% guilty, 22 acquittal, nope, 45 now guilty, 18, 36 hung jury. I'm sure you
They
vote,
just
guys.
redid the whole trial.
What did you say?
They just need to redo the whole trial.
I want to look why they won't allow cameras. What is that about? Why?
That's the only case they've never allowed cameras. I know this is a stupid question, but what happened with the Boone? Was she found guilty
Yes.
Yeah.
of first-degree murder?
Yes. No,
Wow.
second, no, not first degree murder. No. Second.
Second degree?
Yes. Judge Van Gogh of Allen County lost confidence in the media's ability to cover the case appropriately. In October 2023, news outlets disobeyed the court's directives and aired clips recorded before and after a hearing that was limited to the hearing itself. Oh, see, it's the Gulf expressed concerns over media conduct after rules were violated. Okay, so a new state rule adopted in February 2023 gives judges the discretion to decide whether cameras are allowed in their courtrooms. Gull has also banned electronic devices, including tablets, laptops, and electronic watches, from the courtroom.
Right, yeah.
Let's see, beyond justice for for either side is public trust in our system, and having cameras in the courtroom would allow the public to actually see how it plays out regardless of this verdict. No cameras in the courtroom.
He's making it worse by not having cameras because we don't know what's going on. So everybody's making stuff up and
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Judge erases photos of Delphi murders jurors. What was that about? She denied cameras, saying that the court has lost confidence. She erased photos of Delphi jurors from confiscated cameras. Oh, wow. So she was even confiscating cameras? And people were taking pictures of the jurors? Who was doing that?
Well, you weren't allowed to take your phones in there.
Well, what happened there? Because I let me see here. So somebody tried to, of course there's always somebody that tries to sneak in something, right? Let's see what happened. They said 2 new orders shared for the first time on Wednesday from the special judge. Covering the trial, and one order noted that she erased photos of jurors taken outside the courthouse from confiscated cameras. Judge Fran Gull of Allen County has been strict in public access to the trial after she said last year that she lost confidence in the media coverage of suspect Richard Allen's case. No cameras or electronic devices are being allowed. Allen, he's been charged. Gull met with the media outside last week at the courthouse before the trial started. She allowed photos to be taken of the empty courtroom. She also provided guidelines for media coverage. Okay, security at the courthouse has been extremely heavy. A large fence covered with black material was put around the 3-story building. Okay, some adjacent streets were closed down. The judge limited reporters to using only pens and paper, and at least one of the reporters allowed in the courtroom is appointed as a pool reporter, so they can all share his notes. Outside the courthouse between sessions, the handwritten notes of the daily pool reporter are electronically shared with media representatives, first as photos of the handwritten notebook pages and later as a typed transcription. As the jury arrived in a van on Friday for the first day of the trial, police outside the Carroll County Courthouse confiscated the cameras of 3 journalists. A Sony camcorder for Eric Arnold of NBC, 2 cameras from Mike Conroy of the Associated Press, and 2 cameras from Alex Martin of Gannett, which publishes USA Today, and 4 Indiana news websites, including IndyStar.com. One order that Gull signed Friday was shared publicly Wednesday. Gull had ordered the memory cards removed from the 5 confiscated cameras to have the jurors' images erased. In addition, the order banned all 3 photographers from the proceedings. Martin had said in a Gannett online report that he did not take photos of the jurors and had put one camera on his hip and set the other camera on the ground as the jury arrived. The judge did not say in her order if the cameras and altered memory cards were returned to the journalist or their employers. In Gull's other order regarding public access, which was signed and publicly shared on Wednesday, a criminal defense attorney who provided analysis and content of high-profile cases across the United States was denied access to audio recordings that the court is making of the trial. So they are making audio recordings. It's not uncommon nationally for courts to make audio recordings or in some cases video recordings of hearings for use during and after the trial. For example, the U.S. Supreme Court records all oral arguments and posts the recordings on its website the same day. In Indiana, any audio recordings made are shared only with the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, and the court personnel involved in the trial. They are referred to in Indiana trial rules as the parties of the case. In the Delphi murder trials, the parties of the case would include the Carroll County prosecutor Nicholas McLeland, deputy prosecutors James Luttrell and Stacy Diner, and Allen's defense attorneys Brad Rozzy and Andrew Baldwin and Jennifer Auger. Criminal defense attorney Andrea Burkhart, who is licensed in Washington State, had filed a motion with the judge to ask for access to the trial recordings and to note the lack of public and media access to the trial. Gull ruled against Burkhart without giving the defense attorney a hearing. The special judge in her ruling cited Indiana trial rules and wrote, as Andrea Burkhart is not a party to these proceedings, this court is not required to provide the recording. The balance of the motion to intervene is merely a complaint about how the court is conducting the trial. Before the trial, Gull allowed a camera into the courtroom for hearing in Allen's case on October 19th, 2023. The video was to be shared by a pool of media organizations. Live streams were not allowed. If an organization chose to air the video, they had to delay it. In the order allowing the cameras on October 19th, she wrote, "This case has generated substantial public interest and media attention." However, in June, she denied further cameras in the courtroom, saying the court has lost confidence in the ability of the media to cover hearings appropriately. Indiana courtrooms started May 1st, 2023, to allow news media to bring cameras into courtrooms with limits. The Indiana Supreme Court said in a news release on February 15, 2023, that its decision came after a pilot program that involved selected judges, including Judge Gull. In the news release, Chief Judge Loretta Rush noted trial court judges are in the best position to determine how to balance the importance of transparency while protecting the rights of people involved in the court matter. The Indiana trial rule adopted May 1st, 2023 says the means of recording cannot distract participants or impair the dignity of proceedings. So she's in charge of it all, and you're not going to see anything. Crazy. Let me see what
What?
she's not going to allow anything. So just
I know, it's
Ever.
ridiculous.
I wonder if they're going to allow any discovery of the interrogations or anything. Let's
I
see.
know, that's what I'm wondering, after it's all over?
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
40% say guilty verdict, 25% say acquittal, and 35 percent, say hung jury. So that's
And
very.
what was it about she wouldn't let the FBI guy testify
Oh, let me look at that. Yeah.
because it wasn't necessary? I don't know.
It's gonna end up screwing this whole
It's
thing up.
a lot.
You know it?
Oh yeah. If he gets off, I mean, let's see.
That's what I'm saying, it'll be because of her.
Sounds like she's got a little bit of dementia going on then.
But like I said, we don't know what motions were filed neither as far as what they could not talk about. But it's a mess.
Okay, why can't the FBI guy testify via Zoom? Let's see. This afternoon, let me see. Trying to see what they said here. Juror questions from the first witness today. A juror asked Westcott if Allen had enough sense to fear for his safety. Okay, that was all about that. Let me see here.
I guess I didn't realize it was this bad until talking to you, Kevin and you guys earlier tonight. I don't know why. I hadn't, realized it, I guess. I guess I really didn't pay that much attention to this.
And we realize too, we don't have all the facts.
Yeah.
But what you're hearing is it's messy.
Yeah. All I know is I kind of just recently been looking at local YouTubers to that area that have happened to pop up into my feed, and a couple of YouTubers that have attended the trial and kind of went by that. And I've always thought he was guilty since they arrested him, to tell you the truth, you know. I've just always had that feeling.
She says, I know
I still do feel he's guilty.
I know that when I read it before, it just was basically that she was just going to deny that. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Because it was the one that question. Let me see what it said here about. I saw it. Certain. Libby's video bridge guy was recorded. Stare up to the stand. What the heck is that? Let me see. Oh, here it is. Judge Francis Gull denied a request to have an FBI agent who interviewed Weber in February of 2017 to testify remotely via Zoom, and she denied 2 motions in which they tried yet again to introduce evidence that the girls were the victims of multiple assailants participating in an Odinist ritual. But it doesn't say why. It just said addressing the attorneys after letting the jury go for the day. Gull stated the case law on third-party suspects is clear. There has to be a nexus to the defendant. There is no nexus.
What about Weber having the same kind of gun and they never checked his gun to see if the bullet...
Oh, that's what you said. Let me see that. You said Weber had the same gun.
And he changed his testimony too. And so did one of the doctors, that he was okay, then he decided he was psychotic. Yeah, it's just a lot.
Let's see. Baldwin pointed out that Weber owned a Sig Sauer, the same gun as Allen owned.
And that don't include the narrative that started at the very beginning of this with Keegan, and I'm just baffled.
Okay, wait a second. Now it says, let's see here, for November 1st, Delphi investigators grilled by Richard Allen's defense team. So it says the first full day of defense testimonies in the double murder trial. Let me see here. A key part of Allen's defense is a theory that the girls were killed by Odinists. Okay, Special Judge Francis Gull previously ruled that inadmissible. Allen's attorneys must now present their case without the ability to tell jurors about a key part of it. The trial, which comes 7 years since the girl's death. Let's see here. Hold on one second.
Okay, according to that local guy that I listened to, he said that, and he was at a lot of the pre-trial hearings in May, and according to him, there's a lot of evidence that the jury is not allowed to hear. I don't know, I can't remember what all he said, but he said there's a lot.
Probably pre-trial motions.
It says here, through a litany of objections from Carroll County Prosecutor Nicholas McLeland, Baldwin questioned Mullen about why he didn't record an August phone call with Brad Weber, a man whose property is just across Deer Creek from where the girls' bodies were found and who owned the same type of Sig Sauer pistol as Allen. He asked whether Mullen always believed that only one person was involved in killing Abby and Libby, and he asked why Allen was the lead suspect if there were no tips reported about him, only a form showing that Allen reported himself as being on the Monon High Bridge trail on the date of February 13th. How long have you believed that only one person was involved in the murder of Abby and Libby? Baldwin asked Mullen. Since the arrest of Richard Allen, he said. Before that, did you believe there were more? It really doesn't matter what I believed, Mullen responded. The defense had previously asserted a theory that multiple people, Weber possibly among them, killed the girls as part of an Odinistic ritual sacrifice. Again, on Friday, Judge Gold denied the defense's motion to admit that evidence, saying the case law requires a clear nexus between any third parties and the crime for a court to allow third-party evidence. Baldwin brought up August 2023 deposition 10 months after Allen was arrested, in which Liazenby said that he and fellow Carroll County officer Tony Leggett had believed in 2017 that at least 2 people were involved in the killings. Under direct examination Friday, Liazenby said that belief was based upon the totality of the information provided to investigators at that time. As new evidence became available and police arrested Richard Allen, his beliefs changed. A juror asked Liazenby how many previous murders he had personally investigated. None, he responded, though he had been involved in prior murder investigations. Well, Allen said in prison confession that he saw a white van on the private drive which runs under the Monon High Bridge east of Deer Creek leading to Weber's house. Allen said he was spooked by the van, so he allegedly forced Abby and Libby off of the High Bridge and down a hill. In a cross-examination, McLeland asked Mullen whether he coached Weber on what to say during a separate in-person and recorded interview in August. I did not tell him what to say, Mullen said, and he didn't tell Weber ahead of time what the purpose of the conversation would be. Weber had reviewed his text message to determine that he left work in a white van at 2:02 p.m. and he got home at 2:30 p.m. Mullen said law enforcement confirmed Weber's account of his phone records. Let's see, that's certainly interesting that Weber would review those text messages without knowing why he was coming in, Baldwin said. Wouldn't you agree? That is interesting, Mullen said, and I have no explanation for it. Jurors asked Mullen 9 questions, many of which were about a trail camera discovered near the girls' bodies. The camera was on a hill west of the bodies and faced away from them. Mullen said, but at one point the Delphi firefighter Pat Clausen could be seen on the camera as part of the search for the missing teens. Given that Libby's phone was found beneath Abby's body and the last detected movement in the phone's health app was 2:32 p.m., a juror asked Mullen whether he believed the girls died where they were found. Yes, Mullen replied. Earlier on Friday, the defense called a police officer who first interviewed Weber, but Christopher Goatee, a Hammond police officer who helped with the investigation, claimed to not remember details of the interview even after he was shown a report of that conversation, which he did not write. Allen arrived at the Westfield Correctional Facility in November of 2022 with depression and anxiety disorder. By April 2023, around the same time, he began confessing to the crimes. He had been diagnosed as seriously mentally ill. Dr. Deanna Dwenger, Executive Director of Mental Health Services for IDOC, told jurors Friday. Let's see. Dwenger, the 4th defense witness to take the stand, said that the prolonged isolation and the segregation aggravated Allen's mental health condition, and Allen was kept in solitary confinement for a little over a year at Westville, where inmates are meant to be placed for a maximum of 30 days. Allen, his attorney said, was fed through a door slip. The lights in his small cell were never turned off, and he was constantly monitored via a camera. Dwenger said that Alan was diagnosed as gravely disabled by Westville's mental health staff. Alan's grave disability wasn't specified. Alan's decline began in the spring of 2023 when he told family members that he found God. He later began confessing to the crimes in several phone calls to his wife and mother, to prison guards who were assigned to monitor him and keep a log of his behavior, and during sessions with his therapists. Coinciding with his confessions were a series of bizarre behaviors, such as flushing a Bible in the toilet and eating his own feces. Dr. Monica Walla, Alan's therapist at Westville, testified earlier this week that she believed Alan was feigning his bizarre behavior. During cross-examination by Stacy Diner, Dwenger, who oversees contract employees like Wallace, said Alan was not diagnosed as seriously mentally ill until he started his decline in April of 2023. At that time, the mental health staff at Westville determined that Alan was deteriorating enough that he needed intervention, regardless of whether his symptoms were fake or genuine. One juror asked if a person who's faking a mental illness slips truths in a confession. Dwenger said if a person's story is organized, that person is probably faking psychosis. If a person's story is disjointed, he or she is more likely psychotic or delusional. Jurors heard from 3 other witnesses Friday afternoon, one of whom is Bradley Heath, who reported seeing a vehicle near the old Child Protective Services building on County Road West 300 North from 8:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. The vehicle, he said, was maybe dark blue, was an older model, and reminded him of a car he saw in a Tommy Lee Jones movie. It looked out of place in the area. And that doesn't make any sense, because wasn't it a 2016 Ford Focus in 2017? That wasn't a late model. Does that make sense?
Not really.
During a brief cross-examination by Stacy Diner, he said the car was not parked in the CPS parking lot. Police have alleged in a probable cause affidavit that Allen parked his 2016 Ford Focus at the old CPS building. David McCain, who frequents the Monon High Bridge, testified that he was there between 2 and 4 February 13th, and he walked on the High Bridge to take photos. When he went to his car at the Mears entrance along County Road West 300 North, he said he was surprised to see several cars there. Someone shouted to me, "Have you seen 2 girls?" McCain, who's 79, said, adding that he shouted no to the man who asked. Darrell Sterrett, who was the fire chief of Delphi's volunteer fire department, said he and his crew arrived at the trail at 9:30 p.m. on February 13th to help find Abby and Libby, and Sterrett, 57, testified that he ordered a hasty search of the area south of the bridge. "I wanted boots on the ground. It was February. My thought was that they were hunkered down, cold and scared, didn't know where they were, and were waiting for us to find them." Scooter, are you talking? Because you're on mute. I mean, we can't hear you. Your mouth is moving, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, why wasn't, do you happen to know why the crimes, why they weren't, the jury wasn't allowed to go see the crime scene?
Was it that they
I
weren't
asked
allowed?
that today in a different chat and I never got an answer.
They said
Now
that the
Kevin's
jury
bringing
was
it
not
up.
allowed to see it?
Yeah,
There was something said that the jury was being denied to see the crime scene.
and I saw a brief, but I didn't get to watch it, and I saw where prosecution asked for the jury not to go to the crime scene.
Let me see.
It was a very short, like less than a 2-minute video. And I thought, huh? Why would they not want that?
Well, it
I
says,
thought all that
okay.
went to the crime scene.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
No. Because I've been there myself. I mean, I know it's very steep. I didn't walk down to it. Wasn't exactly sure where the crime scene was.
Scooter, so is it like steep going from the bridge down to
Oh,
where
heck,
he,
yes, very steep, yes.
and didn't one of the girls say there's no path or something?
Yeah, yes.
Well, how did he get that? He didn't look so, he was heavy, didn't I
He
mean,
was in good shape. He was muscular at that time.
you think he was in good shape?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. He was always out hiking and, yeah,
Kind of paunchy, didn't he?
hiking and hunting and, yeah.
Didn't he have a daughter that something happened to?
I don't know.
Okay, it says here's what it said.
I
On
think he
Thursday,
did.
jurors were officially sworn in for the murder trial. Okay, let's see. It says that the defense withdraws their motion to go see it. Let me see here. This thing is
Hi,
still loading.
Susanna Warner.
Hi, Suzanne. Come on. Stupid thing
I'm
is
gonna have to
loading
see
up.
the crime scene just to see.
Oh, okay. Somebody in chat says, from what I heard, they opted not to because of the season difference between the murder time and now. It's not February, and that it's very different now. Thank you.
Yeah, another motion was withdrawn by the defense. It was a request to take the jurors to the crime scene. So they had a motion to take them there, the defense, but then they withdrew it.
Oh, I thought it was, what do you call it? The prosecutor.
And do you remember what juror asked a question and she denied it? Declined to answer it, or
Well, let me see.
I forget how it come about.
Yeah, Gail Dave walked on that bridge. I was too afraid to.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's really high they show you over the river?
Yeah, and there's no railings,
Right.
Yeah.
are there?
Well, now
They've
there are.
redone part of it now.
Hmm.
Well, from the videos, you can see it's redone. We
Right.
haven't been there now since it's been redone.
But I'm saying, like, what part of the bridge, like, when you look at that bridge, there's no land on either side at first. Like, you have to get way either at the start of it or at the very end, right?
They were at the
What?
very,
What do you
the
mean?
girls were at the very end.
When you see that bridge in an aerial shot, there's a
Yeah.
part of it that's very high over that creek or river, whatever they call it, there where there's no land on either side.
Yeah, there is. There's
The
land.
bridge is long.
Tell me this, is it all land under the Monon High Bridge? Because someone was saying there was more than
There's
one.
more than one bridge, but you know the bridge they show you that's way high up and there's no land on either side of it. Like there's a portion, let me show you the thing when I'm talking
No,
about.
where the bridge that we showed you that Dave walked on.
Well, I don't know if it's the same one that we're talking about because, hold on
the
a
one
minute.
that they're showing the bridge guy.
Right, but there's another view. Hold on.
See, I don't remember water right under that bridge.
Yeah,
There
that's-
was not a whole lot of water.
Yeah, there's not a lot of water.
Yeah, not right under it when they showed the pictures.
Yeah, it's shallow. water
creek,
from what
yeah.
I could see.
Let me see here.
It didn't go all the way from side to side.
Were the girls found in any water or were they not in any water?
No. I don't think they were in water.
No, I don't believe they were in the water.
They weren't in the water, but the clothes were in the water.
Yeah.
How were the clothes in the water? There must have been no current in the water at all.
Not
they just
much,
sunk
I don't
right-
believe.
There wasn't that much water though. I mean,
It's not a very deep creek as far
It's
as
not
I
like the
know.
Delaware River, like you drop something there, current is just right down.
no, I don't, it didn't look like there was that much
Look
water.
at Criminal Networks comment in the chat.
I'm trying.
Let's see.
I can't see, I can't see.
Can you read it,
Chad.
Scooter, to me or something? Because I can't see that.
Okay, they wrote a few of them. The first one I think said, McClellan said Richard Allen is bridge guy. FBI in 2017 said bridge guy is Ron Logan. as well as the voice heard saying down the hill. And then says there can't be two bridge guys. And then they said, imagine the jurors finding out that bridge guy cannot be Richard Allen because the FBI already said bridge guy is Ron Logan.
Is that the guy that died?
Yeah.
No, there's no way that's him. That didn't look nothing like him.
Yeah, it's not that Ron Logan.
No, but there's no way that he didn't look nothing like that guy on the bridge.
And then Sheriff Liggett said on the stand that bridge guy video was AI manipulated
Oh, please.
and then stuck on branches in the water.
What?
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 And then Gambia said there is a creek the size of a small river that goes under the bridge. After a rain, it can get fairly deep.
I'm trying to get a picture of it. My computer's being a jerk beyond jerks. Hold on.
I never heard that any FBI said it was Ron Logan. Did anybody else hear that?
Way. There's no way that guy on the bridge was him. There ain't no way.
Ron Logan was that older man.
Yeah, and he was taller.
Yeah. And had the white mustache and
Yeah, and heavier. Like a prominent belly. I think those two girls could have took him.
oh, probably.
He had to have had a gun or something to put the fear into them, you know?
Uh-huh.
But you
Didn't
know
he
what?
admit
I mean,
he
weren't
had
there
it?
other people hiking around? Like, how did he think in the afternoon you
Carolyn,
worried about
even if
a van that other
there aren't
people
a lot of
hiking were not going to
still,
be a problem?
That place is big. That place is big. Even if there were like a lot of people, like, I don't know, it's a big area. You're
Have
not
you ever
gonna be
tried, like,
right
you
on
know,
top of
sometimes,
each
okay,
other.
you might be hiking along something and you're trying to take a picture and you've got like, oh my gosh, this person's coming, that person's over there, like, and that's just trying to take a picture. You're gonna trying to kill somebody? I mean, I just don't get it.
People go on that bridge. I mean, it's not something that I think I'd look at and go, oh, I want to cross that.
Yeah, a lot of people said that lived there in Delphi didn't even know that bridge was there. Yeah, bodies were found on Ron Logan's property, right, yeah, because he lived right by there.
Whose body?
Whose
What?
bodies?
The girls, that's what they're saying,
Oh,
were found
oh.
on his property.
Oh,
He lived right there before he died, I guess, that was his property.
But he wasn't that close to where their bodies were found, not his house.
No, not at his house, no.
Yeah.
all right, let me
It was
see
a
now.
pretty good distance from where their bodies were found.
Right, yeah.
The bodies wasn't found out in the open. I mean,
No, no. Down there in that ravine type area.
Okay, now I'm going to show you a picture and you tell me if this is
Okay.
the Monin. This one over here. Okay, this is the picture. Open image. Okay, you're going to have to look at YouTube. I'm going to have to make it bigger.
I'm going to have to go back to YouTube. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm here on YouTube as well.
Is that the bridge? And look, there's people
Which now
like
what?
in kayaks and canoes under it. You'll see it on YouTube.
What's that?
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's high. And do you see what I mean by there's a large expanse where there's no land on either side? You see, like if you're
Right,
walking
yeah,
in that
yeah.
area, you can't go down any hill. You're going to go down and jump in the river
Well,
or the stream, whatever you call that.
Yeah, but
there's
what
a
kind of
little bit of
hills?
land there that you could go
Yeah, but
on,
not,
yeah.
but not for a large expanse of it.
No,
Like,
not a
let's
large
say they were
expanse.
between those two pilings, right?
No.
Let's say,
They
what
were-
if they were walking right here, right up here? You can't just say down the hill, because where are you going to go down the hill? You got to walk all the way down here.
They were at the end of the bridge on the other side, at the
Yeah,
very.
they weren't right down there. They were further down. They weren't
They
right
were
by
all
the
the way
bridge.
down at the end of it.
Yeah, they were further
watched
away from the
all the
bridge.
way up there. They weren't in the middle where those are. They were all the way at the other end. They would have
That's
had
what I
to
mean.
pass
They couldn't do that unless they were way, way down.
They were at the very
And I'm
end.
trying to find a picture of the very end. Like, there's, this looks like the start of it is over here. And I'm going to pull over. Get over there. That's not the okay. This one. Looks like, I don't know if that's the start or the end. But even that, there's a big drop. How are you going to go down the hill from that point right there?
Yeah, well, you have to get down to the very end of whichever side they were going down. That's what I mean.
But that's what I
yeah.
mean. He had to get them right to that spot. Any
They
other
were at the
spot?
spot already. They were already at the end of that bridge. That's what they watched him walk all the way across that bridge. When he was walking towards them, they were at the end of that bridge. At the very end. The next place they were going to go was onto that guy's property.
Yeah, they were already close to the end of the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the girls made statement, something to the effect, there's no trail, how do I get down there? Yeah, there's no path or something.
Okay, so wait a second. Look
That's
at
what I
this.
wondered how, and I watched a video where a guy showed exactly where it was.
Okay, so see him walking here? Wait, the bridge guy? He's up there where there's no trail on either side. You can't go down there. Look at the trees. You see how far down the trees are.
But if you look at the video or where they were taking the pictures, he was all the way down at the end. He walked all the way towards them. And the only way they could get past him was to walk past him on the bridge. So they stayed at the end of the bridge. And he walked all the way down the bridge to where they were.
And Carolyn, the guy that I watched that went right to the crime scene, he had to slide down because it was so steep.
Right. See, that
And that's
guy to
probably
me,
what the
right
girl
there,
did.
that guy right there that I see, does not look like an in-shape guy that would be like, do. I'm just going to go right down here. He looks like he'd be like, ooh, watch out. I don't know.
Well, you got to figure and look, it's a nice warm day. He didn't need all that on. Kind of looks like he's trying to cover up so people don't recognize
Do you
him.
have a black screen, Carolyn, or is it mine?
No, it's your thing.
I don't see.
I
saw
have the bridge guy on there. I have him on the thing.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing it. Why ain't I seeing it?
Now here, this might be the end. Hold on, I think I found, let me see.
He is right near where they're at, right there. And they're like further back, and they're at the end of the bridge. Scooter, I think I saw the same thing you did where the guy went all the way down there.
Yeah, it was winter time,
Yeah.
and then he went another time when it was not winter. I watched twice, 2 different ones on his, and he slid down. He said, I'm going to just have to slide down.
Okay, so here's something else now. Here's where they went down, right over here, you mean? This is the trail?
I don't see nothing yet, but
Yeah, we don't see anything yet. We're waiting.
Yeah, all I see is him.
Okay, that's where you start, right there.
Oh, that's the start.
Yeah. That's
And then
where
it
we
goes
were
all
anyway. That's where we started with Dave,
And
when
right where
Dave
they
started.
were, Carolyn, is
Uh-huh.
almost similar to that, where it ends and there, yeah, at the very end of it. Like you start there and you go all the way down that bridge. It's going to be basically the same thing where the girls were standing a little bit up from where the bridge ended.
But see, isn't this where they were?
Now this isn't where they were. They were at the other end.
They were?
I think so. I think they were at the very end of it. I can't really see. This picture is really little.
Really? It's pretty big.
Well, now it's big. I
Now,
clicked the
see, I
edge.
think, well, because I think that video I watched, this is where that guy was, I believe.
No, it don't look as steep on that side as
No?
where the girls were.
Because
Oh, I think
there was like flowers right here at this end, and then he went like to the left and started walking towards the cemetery.
well, maybe. It just looked more of a steep.
Does that show, does that say, doesn't say what end it is, huh?
No, it just says,
If it's the north or the south?
no.
I think that's the north side. The crime scene would be down the hill on the left. So this is the side, right? Gambia's, the north side right here. Oh, the state says they went down on the south end and crossed the creek to the north side.
So he did have them cross the water.
Yeah, they've said that he had them cross the creek to the north side.
Well, that would have been, anybody could have seen that.
That's what I'm saying.
He couldn't have had them do that. They'd have been out in the open.
Yeah, but if he just said, if he had his gun or whatever and said, just walk normal, walk across, or if nobody was watching right that minute, I mean, I don't know. He brought flowers from the cemetery. Bridge probably showed, look to the left, looks like that side platform. The higher up you go, everything is pretty much down the hill. So they are found on this north end. No.
Hold on a minute. Deer Creek. So it's Deer Creek is the. Let me see what it says here. On the way to the 2004 Monon High Railroad Historical. Okay. Another view across the bridge. See, there's the High Bridge, and that's what they show is the High Bridge. The High Bridge.
Guilty. 100%.
13. Okay. The bridge is also known as High Bridge, spans Deer Creek, and is 1,300 feet in length.
How did the girls know that bridge was there? Had they been there before? I mean,
And
They
there
lived there.
were not trains running on this bridge.
no.
At one point, it looks like there were,
Yeah, at one time.
Oh, was it a truck?
but not in years, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
See, at this end, though, it looks like there might have been a little bit of a path. That's why I just don't think it's this end.
What, Rob?
Looking at this picture, it does look like there might be a little bit of a
Yeah.
path going down. But on the other side, I don't think there, it
But
didn't
still,
look
there, that path right there, that's, I was there, that's no path just to walk down, I'm telling you, it's not. Because I was stood there looking and I'm thinking, how would they get down there? I don't see any way.
probably slid on their butts or something.
Could be.
I wonder if their legs were cut up. Well, they had on jeans, though, didn't
I
they?
just don't picture him being nimble like that going down there.
Adrenaline.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you've seen
there
pictures
isn't any
of
real
them.
path.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
in that
been there.
park.
I've been there. Stop the cabs. We have a house that's 20 miles or so from Delphi. Well, no, I take that back. Be 32 miles from Delphi.
okay, it says Abby and Libby's bodies were found less than a mile from the Monon High Bridge, prompting a heightened safety concern on the trails around the bridge. In the way, okay, let's see. But they're showing.
Lynn says this is the start, not the end.
Okay.
Okay, here's something else now.
Yeah, so
Now
that's
look
what
at
I've always
this.
been confused about. Where did they start at? Or where did this take place? Which end?
Now look at that. See, there's nowhere you can cross this whole expanse until you're at either end, it looks like. And that's a lot. They said what, that's 1,300 feet?
Oh, wow, that really goes out there, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's a long time that there's nothing on either side, unless you'd fall right down.
Wow.
Couldn't go down any hill. And here's where the flowers are, and like this, we're here.
What?
Over, like there, they put the flowers.
Huh?
Like, look where the flowers are in the next picture coming up.
They had a tree marked where the girls were found in the video I watched. No, they weren't found there.
They weren't found there, but is that where they
Uh-uh.
went down the hill? Cross on the other side?
No. Wait, no.
That's the site I was at, I believe, isn't it? That's still in the park.
We need don't they have a diagram or something where it shows where?
They have a Delphi, Indiana Trails map.
Where you start, went to the left right there and went down a ways and then slid down, and that's where the girls were found. But they're saying that he made them walk across the creek from the other end of
This
that
is
bridge.
the High Bridge. It says High Bridge. Here's the Deer Creek.
Well, Monon High Bridge, I guess, is what they're
How do
calling
they know he made him walk across to the other side? How do they know that?
The Wabash River.
I'm not sure.
See, didn't Keenan, not Keenan, what is it? Keegan Klein take them to the Wabash River to go look at something?
Oh, Misbehaving said Alan had several pictures of the bridge over years, so he knew it well. I heard that too. Yeah, I did hear that.
He may have planned it out, knew just what he was going to do,
Yeah.
where the girls were going to be, where they were told to be, or where they were supposed to meet the guy.
I see something here. Images. Okay, where's this?
So he knew that place really well.
Yeah, so he knew exactly what he was going to do and where he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew where they were supposed to be to meet that guy they thought they were there to meet.
Right.
Which one was talking to the catfish? Was it which girl was it? The thin little girl or the heavy set girl? Which one? That's how it sounded mean, but you know what I mean. The real tiny girl or the other one? Which one
I
had?
know that for sure. I know I've heard
I don't
that.
One of them was talking to him, thinking it was that good-looking model guy.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And they were there to meet him. They were going to meet up with him.
Libby said misbehave.
Libby was?
Yeah, that's what misbehave said. Lynn wants to know if you can open Google Maps.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What does she want me to do in Google Maps?
Google the bridge?
What does she want me to do in Google Maps?
What do you want her to do on that, Lynn? Probably look at that bridge.
Right. Okay. But it's going to be, well, I don't know what time frame it's going to show us, right?
Susanna, I don't really know that much. Look up Delphi High Bridge.
All right. Okay, hang on.
They were supposed to meet Riley and the other girls, said misbehave.
What am I doing here?
Also, it wasn't just the guy they were supposed to meet.
Well, I think there was that too. And they kind of left them alone to do their filling out of things. I don't know. Oh, you're so cute.
Delphi, Indiana, Monon High Bridge. Monon. Looks like you're getting to it, yep.
Okay, so here. The High Bridge Trail. So where? I don't understand. This doesn't look like the same thing now. Unless this is the new thing with the guardrails, right? This is all new? This is all new with the guardrails, right? Is that what this is? Here's Deer Creek, okay.
Here you go. Here we go.
Oh,
Um,
I'm confused. This is Deer Creek.
zoom out to the left, said Lynn.
To the left,
Okay, there's Deer Creek.
right.
So she said zoom out to the left.
There's Deer Creek, Deer Creek, Deer Creek. Deer Creek.
Okay, I think you're getting closer.
I think so too.
Oh yeah, is that it?
I don't know, I'm just following Deer Creek and I don't see anything going above Deer Creek. Is that it? What is that?
Wait, let's see. I'm watching.
Is that it?
Let's see, I'm watching. Can you guys see it?
Is that it right there?
I don't know, is it?
It kind of looks like it.
Well, let's see what happens if we go to this end.
And said zoom out, not in, LOL.
Yeah.
No, don't do.
What's she? Deer Creek. I need to keep calling Deer Creek, Deer Creek, Deer Creek.
Reminded me of the old days,
I
remember?
know. Yeah, the road trips.
We used to have so much fun when you would be going to find
Okay,
stuff.
this is in the Wabash
on
River
Google
now.
Earth. This is Kevin's
Remember that guy
second night.
Jeff? Where's Jeff? He would know how to do this.
Oh, wait, you might be getting close.
Jeff, where the freak are you? Where? Okay. Monon High Bridge Trail. Monon High Bridge Trail. Okay. She wants me to go to the left over here.
Probably sleeping like a normal person. Okay, there. See that one bridge right there with the guard, the old with the
This
guard.
right here.
There, right there.
This.
I was just gonna say, follow the path that one walk bridge that you were just going past, and follow that, because you take that path and it takes you into the park. That thing there, yes, follow that. Follow that. I think
This
that's
right-
what you follow.
right,
We
past
walked on
the-
that, I believe.
But past the Indiana Bicentennial thing.
Yeah, follow that. Just follow on that, because that'll take you out to it, I think. That's what I think we were
Highland.
walking on.
This is the Liberty Bridge, she said.
I know, follow that. Just follow on that, like you're walking on it.
Yeah, but now I'm down. I don't know where we're going now. There's a train or something coming through
Just
here.
get on it with your arrow.
I did. Okay, and then we come over here.
Okay,
and
well,
that's
you're
the
behind,
end.
I'm on YouTube, so it's behind. Yeah, the
then-
Liberty Bridge. Now just follow through that, follow that path.
Now where? What is it? Criminal Network? Hi, Criminal Network. How are you? Does anybody know the way to go here? Why wouldn't it just bring me to the, if I go, come on, bring me there like this.
Closer that I can see better.
Why won't it bring me there?
Oh gosh, let's see.
Okay. Well, they did what? I just want you to show me the freaking thing, lady. Okay, and that shows us the exact bridge. Look, it says when I click on that, that's what it says it is. Scooter, it says it's right here. Right here. When I click that, look, it gives me that bridge.
Monon Bridge Trail.
But where, I mean,
Yeah, that monument, because
Duping.
if you're walking, you go right past that monument.
is it to the right, you think?
Monon Bridge Trail. Monon High Bridge Trail.
You think it's over
Okay,
here?
okay, I just made a big screen. Okay, the High Bridge Trail. Yes, that circle thing. Yeah, you walk over that bridge right there. You walk over that bridge.
But here's the Deer Creek. How do they get by the Deer Creek if the bridge is over here?
Monon Bridge Trail.
But see, it
City
shows you
Park.
this old bridge, exactly that where it says that is. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, there's Deer Creek right there. You see
Yeah, I
it?
see the Deer Creek, but look, they're saying there this is where it is, and there's no Deer Creek there. The Deer Creek is here.
Oh, it's like I'm turned around here. Okay, let's see. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, isn't that it right there? That right there where it shows Deer Creek.
No,
Or
that's
wait, no,
that's
never
a
mind.
road.
That's not.
But maybe it's
Yeah.
right here. But why do they show it like a road? That looks like that's where it would be, but it's a road.
Monon High Bridge Trail. I'm so confused now.
So am I.
Hi, Duping Delight.
Where's that guy's address that the property they were found on? What's his name again?
It is to the right. It is to the right.
To the right of where? Here?
When you're going, looking on this map, it is to the right. It's not to the left. It's to the right. Pretty sure.
To the right is some kind of like nuclear power plant. What is that? Freak is that? What are those big things in the ground like that? What is that?
Probably silos or something, isn't it?
Reactors or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what they are. That's scary. Oh, water treatment or something?
Probably. I'm not sure. Oh, I see them now, yeah.
It's saying right
That's the
here.
top of a roof.
It's saying right here. How could that be the
I don't
trail right there on the side of the highway? Unless that's it right there.
Okay, that's the trail. Go to the right.
Is this it right here?
Yes, I guess. No, not that's it. That's his. That's a.
Ron, Logan, or Larson. Below that area. Below that area. But there's no Deer Creek over here anymore. Was it BGC for the highway? BG?
Because he was the
Bridge
other
guy.
direction, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I'm
where
confused
is
now,
that,
but
and where is that road that road that the CPS building is on? This is crazy.
Okay, follow that white line there that they're showing.
White line, where?
That with the yellow Monon
Here,
High
this?
Bridge Trail.
This big
Follow that
balloon?
little white line. Just follow the white line where the yellow thing is.
Oh,
The yellow Monon High
yeah,
Bridge Trail.
okay, there's white
Follow that
line.
white line. Go to the right. Just follow that white line and see what happens.
Where's the white line?
Yeah, just follow that. Yeah, follow that. See what happens. To the right. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. That's the frickin' road.
I know.
Right.
And there's like a house here or something. And what's this big circle?
You're right, yeah. Oh. Yeah, there is a house there. Okay, I know that monument. You go over that bridge right there. There's that monument. Then you start walking and you go into the woods. And you walk a path through the woods. And you go on a trail through the woods, and then you turn to the right and step up a little embankment. And you keep going, and then you'll see another path to the right.
But I don't
Walk a little
understand because
ways,
Deer
and then you'll
Creek
see the
is
bridge.
here.
Not there. It's
But
not that way.
doesn't it go over Deer Creek?
That's the total different.
But they were found by Deer Creek.
No, it's not there.
See how there's no Deer Creek by here? Look, stop. Okay, look for Mary Gerard Nature Reserve and go.
Yeah. There's your Deer Creek.
You're there right now? Stop the caps. What do you mean you're there right now? You're at right now, I mean literally at the Mary Gerard place?
Somebody's there right now?
That's what they're saying. Okay, you want me to search again for, hold on a minute, Mary Gerard. Wait a minute,
Oh.
what am I looking for? Mary Gerard Nature Reserve.
And near the cemetery.
Mary-
Yes, near the cemetery. You're there right now. How cool. Are you really?
Okay, Mary Gerard Nature Reserve. Here we go. All right, now you say, oh no, I'm there on the map. Okay. All right.
I was gonna say I could be there tomorrow. I
Look,
could actually be there in a few hours, but I'm not
look
driving
for
there right
Mary
now.
Gerard Nature Reserve on the map. No, I mean on the map. Okay, got you. And then you said go slightly right. Okay, it's still moving around, so let me see. Go slightly
You
right.
still awake, Kevin? Yeah, he's still awake. He's retracting a message. Stop the cap. Stop the caps. Stick to facts. I like that. I like your name.
Okay, so what do I do here now? Now that I've got the Mary Gerard Nature Reserve, I go to my right, over here.
Oh, is that it? Oh, wait.
I don't know, I don't.
That's looking like it,
Deer
maybe.
Creek, but Deer Creek is this way.
There it is, they're saying.
There it is.
The bridge. You're past-
Where do they see
it's-
it?
Right there. See it? No, you just moved past it. Stay there. Don't you see it?
Look, they say the
Carolyn?
Mary Gerard
No.
Nature Reserve, and there's the bridge over here.
Carolyn, no. Look, right there.
Okay. Where?
Back up a little bit. Look right in front of you. Back up.
This?
Carolyn,
Oh, I think I see it. You're behind me. Is this it right here?
we're behind you a little.
It has to be right here. Here it is, right here, right? Right there, here.
Where?
Right here it has to be,
They're
right?
right over the water. Yes, yes. That's it, right? Isn't it?
It's gotta be. It looks like it, yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. Ah,
Okay.
thank
And
you,
there's-
Stop the Caps
and
and
there's
Lynn.
like the old part of the bridge, like, looks like there.
That's it.
Okay, so then,
Is that where they renewed it too? Is
I
that
don't-
showing the new part?
I
How
don't
they've
know.
redone it? Because it kind of looks new right there. You know, it's partial, or wait. Maybe not, I don't know. It's partially redone.
Showing stuff over here.
Wow. There's a bench there now too, huh? Or somewhere there?
Yeah.
And I heard something about a picnic table.
I don't know, but,
The-
okay, so.
The guy that was sliding down to the crime scene,
Yeah,
he mentioned, and I'm not gonna say that it was right by the crime scene because I don't know that, but he said, oh, look, there's a picnic table down there. But I don't think it was right at the crime scene or anything.
right. But the girls were found where, though?
What?
Where were they found?
Okay, I think they'll probably help
Like,
you.
where did he see the van? If they came down the hill, where did he see the van driving? I don't even see any roads around here. Where was that other guy's property?
Yeah, because they're making, the way this looks right here, it looks so desolate,
I know.
like you're in the jungle or something.
Where would he see a van driving?
Like it's basically showing terrain
Right, and here's the creek.
and nothing else. Okay, there you go, it's showing
I don't see
homes
any
and-
roads. Where would he see a van driving?
Yeah, we need help here, guys.
Nothing this way. Look at this. This looks really scary. What is that? You love maps, Miss Behave? Well, you should be coming up here and doing this then if you love it.
Please, Lord, let these two young girls get justice. Let their families get some peace.
Where would it be? I don't know where he would have got spooked. Who knows where he got spooked with the van? Where was the van driving that he got spooked?
Gosh, this doesn't even look like a place the way we have this.
Can't. You love watching though. Oh, good. But where's the van? Does anybody know where that is? Where the van?
This makes me all curious now. I do feel like driving down there. Dave wants to go back down to the cottage Monday, so I'm thinking
How
Maybe.
far is it from the
all
cottage?
night. Huh?
How far is it from the cottage?
From the cottage? We'd go into Monticello. Monticello is 12 miles, and then Delphi from Monticello is 20, I think. So it's not that far, 32 miles, something like that. It's not far at all.
Okay, Poppy. Poppy says the van passed under the bridge. There is a private road. Okay, under the bridge is a private road.
You know what? I would like to be there tomorrow night just to sit there in my car by the courthouse and just see all these people.
You should. You love to people watch.
That's what I was thinking, I could report from there to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Scooter coming in live. Her car outside the courthouse.
Right?
What kind of a town is that? What do they have there? Is it a big town?
No, not that I know of. Shoot, as soon as you get into the town, the first thing you see, that McDonald's and CVS.
CVS. Oh boy. Did
Yeah,
you ever
those
go
are
in
the
that
first
CVS?
things. Huh?
Had you ever gone in that CVS?
I don't think I ever have. I think when, remember when Dave had his shoulder work
Mm-hmm.
done?
Yeah.
We almost stopped in there for his bandages and stuff, but we went to a different one. And I think wasn't that before he was arrested? I'm not sure.
I don't
You know what? I don't
yeah, I
even
think
know.
so.
I don't want
Poppy
to say.
says it's a town of 3,000 people.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Scooter, that lady that's talking, lives close to there. She lives in Indiana.
Yeah. But I live up here in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area. We have a cottage down there
I don't know if anyone has.
by that area.
Transportation is the worst spelling. Mm-hmm.
I'm just so glad that nutcase didn't come to our little town there in Buffalo, when my grandkids were over at the playground in that.
Yeah,
Young teens over there.
I know. It's just so weird that he go to 52 and then you just wake up and you decide to murder 2 kids in broad daylight.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he could have been out scouting.
But don't you
all
ever
over
just
the
go to
place.
haven't you ever just gone to do something, not anything sinister or anything, and you didn't want people around and there were people all around, like whether it's when you stop to take a picture somewhere and there's people around, like, I always say that to myself all the time. I'll say whatever aisle I need to be in or whatever place I want to go to take something, there's always got to be somebody that's following. And I say it would be terrible, like if I was ever dumping a body or something,
Yeah.
there would be somebody there all the time. Like, how do you think you're going to go somewhere like this and no one's going to see you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems so crazy.
Like 2 of my grandkids are Abby and Libby's age. Abby's age. No, yeah, because Lexi and Maddie.
Well, let's
They're
say
both
that, Poppy. Let's say
21.
Poppy said, I'm sure he didn't want to kill them. He was there to R them, in my opinion. He panicked. Okay, let's say that you're right, Poppy, okay? He was there to R them. He wasn't wearing any mask or anything on his face. If he left them alive after he R'd them, he could be identified easily.
Yeah. He
So,
knew that he would have to.
I don't
then,
understand. Like, what do you mean he wasn't going to kill them? It doesn't make sense. If he had a ski mask on or something, I mean, but they saw him.
Yeah, they knew. Yeah.
Hi, Susanna. I have to get ready for work. Nice chatting. Yo, thanks for chatting with us. Right, Poppy? What? How? I mean, they could identify him easily.
Have a good day at work, Suzanne.
And if he R'd them and there was DNA and they could identify him, he'd be caught in a minute. That's why I'm with the defense, I cannot imagine a 5'4" man did this alone, and everyone says that screams are easily heard.
But if your throats are cut, how are you going to scream?
It's probably what made him panic when he realized that he actually acted on his impulse. But do you think it was an impulse if he was carrying a gun? That's what he confessed, that he was going to SA them and only killed them because he got spooked. But that doesn't make sense, does it, Hart? Right? Because they could identify him. I don't get it. I really don't. None of this makes sense to me.
I'm going to get to bed.
How old is his daughter?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
She wasn't the kid's age, right?
No, she's older.
She's older, and he only has one
I
child.
think.
But he only has one child?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Hi, Miracle Hearts. He
Hi,
panicked.
Miracle.
Okay, but Miracle Hearts, here's what I don't understand. He panicked, but they saw his face. They had him in a video before he did anything. What was he going to do? They would be able to identify him so easily. He has searched those things on kidnapping and stuff. He was there at the bridge at the exact time he told police officers. He even described how he was dressed, and I understand that. And I'm not saying it wasn't him, Poppy, but I'm saying, how could he have just said he was going just to SA them and that's it? That's a lie. Why do you bring the box cutter then? Why do you have the box cutter? She was 22 back then. I don't even know how. I don't know how even with a gun he could overpower the two girls. I think he intended to SA and kill whomever his victim ended up being. Yes, I believe that. So as to get away with the crime. Okay, so I don't think it was that he panicked. Why is he saying he panicked and he did it? Maybe he panicked and he didn't carry out the R. Okay, but he was going to kill them regardless.
Does anybody know how long?
Ruff, you sound underwater.
Okay,
Okay,
shut down.
that's better.
How long does it take when you get your throat cut to actually pass away?
I don't know. I guess it's going to depend on how that jugular vein and stuff, how badly it's cut and how fast you bleed out.
That's how long does it take you to bleed out? Because
I don't know, but you probably go into shock. Can you imagine? You're probably in shock. Who knows what's going to happen? To defend
did he kill
himself.
both of them at the same time, or did one poor girl have to watch the other one? It's just, I don't know, it's
I don't
mind-boggling.
You can't hold a knife and a gun in other times.
They could have froze, or I don't know. It's just so hard to tell.
They had nowhere to run.
Except in the water, right? I don't know.
Well, then they would have had to got back up the embankment. He would have chased them down.
Unless they ran in the water, but threw rocks at him. What could you do? You didn't have any weapons. They had rocks. That's it. If they found some rocks in the
Or
river.
maybe he told one of them to turn around, turn around and don't look. And maybe that's when he slit one girl's throat and then he did, you know, then
Well,
he
you
did
would
the
think
other.
that if he wasn't overpowering, the other one would run somewhere, anywhere,
Or scream or
while he's doing what he's doing,
exactly.
unless he had her tied up somehow.
But they didn't say anything about there was nothing. I mean, there was no marks where they were tied up, right?
No, not that I heard, but.
And I think
And
he
then
had
somebody
help.
said, what if he knocked one out? Like, what if he knocked her out? I don't know.
What did they have to say any more about the autopsy report other than the throats were cut? I mean, was there any bruising on them or marks or? Did that even come out?
I have to look at what he said about that, but
So
it's
many
just,
things he could have said and done to them, we have no idea, you know? But if we would hear it, then we'd be
did
like,
they ever
"Oh my
have a
God,
toxicology?
that's how."
Could he have drugged them? No.
I don't think he had time to drug them. I don't think, that's why there had to been a few people. There wasn't, but what? An hour at the most?
Here's another thing. These were what, 13, 14-year-old girls?
Yeah.
They'd never been in any situation like that. And if somebody's got a gun, they're going to do whatever they're told.
Yeah, I mean,
It
there's,
doesn't matter how big of a fighter they were. You're not going to fight against a gun. And
Well, they say
especially
there's-
at that
yeah.
age, you've never been in that situation.
they say there's fight, and freeze,
Fight and flight.
That-
You either fight
Yeah.
or flight.
but there's also freeze.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are freezers. You don't know it until you're in a situation, which one you are, you know, and a lot of people are freezers. They freeze up, they just, you know, they can't think, you know, they just, yeah. And the terror of those poor girls, it just breaks my heart. The terror they must have been experiencing. And I think he just doesn't want to admit that he went out with an intent to kill.
Oh, I
Well,
think
he
he
ha-
intended to
He
kill.
had to, because otherwise he would have disguised himself.
Exactly.
They would have
Yeah.
easily been able to identify him.
But that was a small town. They may have already knew who he was once he got closer to him.
Yeah, and what about, oh, you know what I wanted to say? Somebody said something about the people that were in Walmart that used to work around this guy and this guy being weird. Where did that come from?
I never heard anything about him being weird.
Neither did I.
Was that, what'd you say?
Watched the
Well,
party.
that lady Laura said something about that, and I don't know whether she heard that in the court or somebody said that.
What?
They said that when he worked at Walmart, there was this one couple, and he was always trying to hang around with them, and he wanted to go hang out with them, and he said he didn't want to be weird, but they said he was weird, but he never tried anything. Where did that come
Laura
from?
said she heard that around. Yeah. I think she said she heard that around. The rumors around town.
Yeah, but
Isn't
what
that kinda
did
weird,
people
too?
around town? Why didn't they interview a lot of his friends? Why didn't we hear from any character witnesses of who he was?
I saw interviews where his friends said that he was the life of the party and was
Oh,
a
really?
joke and was always smiling. Yeah, there
I
was
saw where they, people who went to the CVS where he worked said he was always friendly and nice and everybody liked him so much.
Yeah,
Stop the
That they
Cap
were-
says I don't think he did it. He literally left the sketches up in the CVS. The sketches were still there in CVS where he worked the day of his arrest. He worked at CVS.
but no one suspected him because everybody thought he was a nice guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Lynn said
And
she
what-
heard that interview about the people from Walmart.
Wouldn't it
Oh,
be
you
weird
did?
if he took them down though? I mean, somebody would put them back up because it was a huge thing in that town. It was the biggest thing in that town. They would have been back up anyway if he did take them down.
yeah, it would have been suspicious if he would. Why would he have taken him down?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true. I'm trying to think if I saw him when I would be in the stores in Monticello, which is right next to Delphi, and I'm sure I did.
Poppy
Because I was
said
always going
also-
in the grocery stores all the time, all those years.
Poppy
I'm
said he
sure
got
he did.
fired from a job for being inappropriate and misbehaved, said he had complaints and he moved to another store.
Oh. Interesting.
Did you say he was 5'4"?
Yeah, 5'5".
Yeah.
5'4", 5'5".
Oh.
What do you have? Something like that.
Yeah.
Not tall. He wasn't very big.
Nope.
Yeah,
He was-
his wife also called the cops on him because he was being abusive. That's right, I've heard that too.
Right, yeah.
He was stocky when they first got him, arrested
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Not anymore.
He was stocky, muscular kind of, yep.
Mhm.
But the videos I saw him where he was shooting pool with his friends and stuff, he wasn't heavy or anything.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it wasn't fat. He wasn't fat or that much out of shape.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, the bridge guy doesn't look too much like you wouldn't describe him as athletic or.
Well, and he looked like, I don't remember, it was just the video, but he looked like he had a limp or something the way he walked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He did not look athletic or like
Well, that's because of the way that bridge is.
Yeah.
To be careful the way he walked on that bridge.
I really think you could tell that he did have a gun in that hoodie.
It did look like it.
Yeah. And didn't they say one of the girls made a comment?
Yeah, that looked like a gun or something like that. Looks like a
Yeah,
gun.
they did. She said gun. It's a gun or something like that.
Yeah.
Or there's a gun.
Oh my God, they were.
Look at the bridge guy. That is not a 5'4" man. Abby was 5'4". Also, at a bar, he said to his wife to go back home. Hold on a minute.
Oh, really?
Or he would unalive her in the parking lot.
What?
Then was she
Wow.
standing by him so
Never
much,
heard that.
Poppy? Why would she be
I
standing
don't
by such an
know.
abusive man? Is it just for her own ego and her daughter, or is it for something else?
I don't know, high school sweethearts and everything.
Is she trying to see if he gets off, then she'll divorce him? Because if he doesn't get because if he gets off, maybe she's thinking then he'll get half of what, I don't know what she could be thinking. Who knows? For some reason she's trying to stay married to him or something. I don't know.
I don't know
Did the
either.
team may have asked her to stay with him until it was over?
Yeah, I think if he gets off, they're not going to stay together. I definitely think that.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying they may have asked her, just stick by him until it's over.
Why Kathy said to Alan, you said you weren't on the bridge. Yeah, that's weird.
Mhm.
Well, I heard that he lied to her at first and said he wasn't on the bridge and then later told her, yes, he was. Is that true?
They met when they were very young.
Yeah.
She knows nothing better, in my opinion. Yeah, but
I
she's
thought
had 2
she
years,
said-
Poppy, while he's been in jail.
I thought she said, you told me you were on the trails, not at the bridge.
Not at the bridge.
Yeah. He apparently told her he was only on the trail.
She is codependent. She has answered for Rick and made excuses for him his whole life.
Who, his wife or his mother?
His wife, they're saying.
Probably both.
But he
Well, they were
confessed
high
to his
school
mother,
sweethearts,
too,
right?
didn't he?
Weren't they high school sweethearts?
Yeah.
I think she's just having trouble accepting that he killed people,
Oh,
killed
definitely.
young girls. She
I
just
thought
won't.
something happened to one of his daughters or something. I actually thought he had a daughter that was alive.
No, I haven't heard that.
Baltimore.
Doesn't he have a son too, though? I thought he had a girl and a boy.
I think he might have a boy.
Let me see what I
I
can.
thought I heard someone say something about his son.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he had a girl and a boy.
Let me see if I can find out.
He has one daughter, said Poppy.
Mhm.
One daughter.
I looked it up the other night. He only has one daughter.
Oh, not son. I guess it was the girl and the daughter and her husband that were at court.
There's no evidence of Alan having any run-ins with the law prior to this, let me see.
All these that police have been there for abuse
Hold
at his
on.
house.
I know, but I'm reading. So prosecutors said there was no attempts to force Allen to confess, and they should be allowed. Let's see. Where did I get this? Beyond speeding tickets and driving without a seatbelt. So they said. I'm just reading something here. Court documents. Okay, where's the kids? Say about his kids.
It's just so weird that he did this, you know, that, I mean, you know, so many people who commit crimes like this, you know, escalated into murdering.
And in broad daylight, I mean,
Allen is a trained pharmacy technician receiving his most recent pharmaceutical license in February of 2018, 1 year on from the murders. At the time of his arrest, he was working at the local CVS. Following, okay, let's see, where's the
he was a
selfie
pharmacist or an assistant. What was he? I'm sorry.
Pharmacy tech.
A pharmacy tech.
He's not a pharmacist.
With
No.
the tech. But
But he filled prescriptions and stuff, just wasn't the head
if it
pharmacist.
was my husband on that bridge and I saw that picture, I would have known that was my husband. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
I
You'd be
would
like, oh my
too.
gosh, those are your shoes, those are your jeans, that's your
Well, that's your hat, that's the scarf.
I think I would have too. I just give her a little leeway because the picture was very blurred and it wasn't a good picture of the face, and they are rather nondescript clothes. So I mean, if she really didn't want to believe it, she could say to herself, "Oh, well, he has a jacket like that, but lots of people have jackets like that, and he has shoes like that, but lots of people have shoes like that." You know what I mean?
But, and then find out
She
it was
didn't want to
there.
believe it was him, and she just said it's not him, you know, because I don't want to think it's him.
I don't think anybody ever thought it was him, though.
Well, she had to suspect when she saw the picture. She had to think that looks an awful lot like my husband, but it can't be my husband, right?
And then he lied to her and said, "Oh, I was on the trail. Oh no, I was on the bridge."
Yeah.
I think may have had, suspicion or.
Well, and then like in the chat, and that reminded me too, Misbehaving said he has lots of pictures of the bridge. He's always been going out there.
He did.
So-
He had pictures of his daughter on the bridge and stuff.
Yeah, and he had
Remember that?
pictures of the bridge too, you know?
Didn't he have several pictures of his daughter on the bridge?
And he had pictures of her on the bridge, yeah. That's right.
Her engagement picture, she's sitting on the bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe size killing her.
What?
Maybe he fantasized killing her.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
I don't think we want to wonder about what dark fantasies were in that man's head.
Oh, he is shift leader,
Just
not a pharmacist.
I know.
Yeah, not a pharmacist, yeah.
Even with Ted Bundy and all of those others, I want to know what was in their head. How did they do that? What
I
made
think you'll
you?
be pretty disgusted if you ever find out.
Oh, I'm
because
sure I
everything-
would. But
Lord
not
have
enough.
mercy. What he must have been thinking to carry out such a horrible act, you know?
Somebody said one time, you can't imagine it because you don't have it in you.
Mm-hmm.
But still, what's
Yeah.
not right in your head? It can't all be how they were raised.
Do you
'cause
know
evidently,
does his daughter, no, that can't be her TikTok. Does his daughter have a TikTok?
I
I
have
have
no
no
idea.
idea.
There is a picture with her sitting on that bridge.
Well, it could be then.
No, I mean, there is a picture besides that with her sitting on the bridge.
Yeah.
Chilling photo uploaded to Facebook a year after Delphi murders shows the arrested man's daughter, 28 years old, posed in the same spot where the victims took their final snaps.
oh,
Okay.
Who set that
It
up?
said it was posted to Facebook by Alan's wife, Kathy, in 2018, just over a year after the girls disappeared in February of 2017. Although it's unclear when the photo was taken, there's no indication as to who took the snap on the Monon High Bridge Trail. But
Yeah, I remember that
she's,
vividly. Yeah, so I was
she's
like,
sitting
that.
there on the bridge.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that too.
Here, I'll put
Yeah,
it
I
up there.
remember.
That's pretty messed up, yeah.
I think I saw that picture.
I mean,
I'll
why
put
would
it
you
up
do it
here.
on that space? Makes no sense. Well, I mean, they had no idea yet, but that's.
He had to have blood on him when he left the crime scene. There's no
Yeah.
way he did.
If he was planning on doing something like that, I'm sure he had some sort of a contingency plan to get himself cleaned up before he went home, kind of thing, you know?
Hold on, where'd you go, picture?
Oh, it was for her high school picture, Lynn.
I don't know, I'm trying to
He
get it.
misbehaved. He was a pharmacy
But
tech.
why did she post it again in 2018?
Was her,
Well,
that,
he wasn't arrested yet or anything.
I know, but why did the wife post that in 2018?
Well, why not?
Well, it wouldn't have been her high school picture because she would have been older than that.
that was her engagement picture. Deborah and I did, remember way back, we'd stay up night after research and stuff.
Say what?
Me and Deborah was into this case. We'd stay up night after night after night researching stuff. That was their daughter's engagement picture.
Oh, okay. Really?
That was a weird place to go take it, right? If he had any part of that. And why wasn't her fiance in it if it was her engagement picture? I don't get that.
And Deborah and I were talking about how much she resembles Libby.
Yeah, she does. That's what he could have had a sick obsession about his daughter. You don't know.
I noticed that too.
She does kind of resemble Libby, doesn't she?
Yeah, we spent hours and hours on all this stuff.
I know Deborah was really into this case. Misbehave said 2012 graduation picture.
And why'd she put it up 6 years after? Was it one of those ones that
Lynn says, I thought it was high school.
But how did he know she would be there if he was targeting her?
Well, I don't think it was her. I think in his head, you know what I mean? It's like some
Kind
men,
of
like,
opportunity, maybe.
well, they kill like a woman that looks like their wife or looks like their mother, and they both want to kill their mother, but they kill women that remind them of their mother. So
Just out there looking maybe for a chance.
I also wonder how many times he went out there and was, thinking about doing something like that, and if that was just the day he took his opportunity.
Maybe that was one of the days. Why he went out there all the time, always out there at that bridge or whatever a lot. Finally got the courage and saw what he was looking for, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the trail. Richard Allen's house. Here's that 300
Yeah, he
north
knew the kids were gonna be off school that day. And I guess he hoped to see kids on his day off. That is true, yeah, he knew kids had the day off of school.
but he was friends with the guy that was talking to Libby, right?
I don't know.
I don't think that's ever been said.
Keegan Klein spoke to the girls under the fake thing the night before they died.
Right. We're supposed to meet him on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But I don't
what-
think a connection between them has ever been established, has there?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Was Alan friends with him? And he
In the-
told him he was supposed
Well,
to meet
in
the
the interview, he said he chickened out of told the interview that he chickened out of seeing them, but yet later under the Anthony Shots name said they didn't show up. So which is true?
What? Say that again.
Okay, Keegan Klein
Yeah,
had the fake account,
right.
Anthony Shots. When Keegan Klein was interviewed, he had told them that he had talked to them the night before under that name because at that point they connected the dots and had said that he had made plans to meet them, but he backed out.
That's why I'm wondering if Alan took his place.
So after that, though, after they interviewed him and everything, there was a post made under the Anthony Shot fake profile that he was talking about the girls and he was supposed to have met them, but they didn't show up. So then when they were in the interview asking him about that, they said other people had access to that account, including his dad. So now which is the truth?
Klein is said to have arranged to meet with Libby on the Delphi High Bridge the day before she was murdered. But he is also said to have shared his Anthony Shots password with others, including his father, and said his dad could be a prime suspect.
Right.
And did Alan know of either one of them?
Don't know, but don't know. I don't know what that connection is. There's something.
Yeah.
Well, Klein is he the same age as the daughter, as Alan's daughter? He's 28, she was 28, it's saying here on this thing, I don't know.
I mean, there's just so much that doesn't make sense.
I don't think he did it by himself.
But what gets me is how they say, how did Keegan Klein not stay a suspect?
Maybe he had an alibi.
Well, but Keegan Klein took them out to the Wabash River. Why?
I don't know.
He could have made a plea deal. I said there's just too many unanswered.
Say something, because I thought sure that would have been brought out in trial.
Maybe, yeah, like he was going to show him where the murder weapon was, or where he was supposed to. Well, they went in the water. Yeah, they did.
That's not the same river or anything, no.
Oh, it wasn't.
No.
Maybe he was showing where he threw the burner phones or something. I don't know. After the fact. But as far as him making that post that the girls didn't show up, he could have done that to cover his ass. I mean, whoops, sorry, but
Right, or, I mean, who knows? I'm not saying that Richard Allen's innocent. I'm just saying there's something there that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Let me see something.
I think she looks like that picture of the man on the bridge, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe I want him to, but I just feel like he looks like him.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like either one of the other two. The
Not at all.
No, but
It could have been Alan and the dad. I was suspicious of him when they were interviewing, but he didn't look anything like him, and I'm like, that can't be him.
Let me see. I can figure out why he brought this to Wabash. Okay, let me see. Search of the Wabash River may be linked to Keegan Klein, and that's right by this bridge. That's what it goes into, that stream. Police search the river near Keegan Klein's home. Guilty plea carries no guarantee of Delphi. Indiana State Police searching the Wabash River. Why did he bring him there?
Did he live with his dad?
Yeah.
How did the dad die? Heart attack? What? Anything suspicious?
I don't know. Let me see here. Not so much about this Wabash River thing. It's like I'm kind of getting to be like Kevin. It feels like a lot of stuff has gone missing that used to be here.
Like what?
Like the stuff about Keegan Klein and this search of the Wabash River.
So he was at one time a suspect,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's
At the
what,
it was from the very beginning. They raided his house and everything, and then he didn't get arrested till 2020.
and that was for what they found on his computer.
Right. So what happened to the other part? Of him being their first suspect
Yeah.
in this, they just dropped it. It's just, I don't know. A lot of this does not make sense to me. And how did he go? Who did he roll on? Or what did he give up to being raided in 2017 and not being arrested till 2020? Makes you wonder.
I hope that Idaho Ford trial doesn't go as bad as this one went.
Oh, me too.
Have they ever decided if they're going to be cameras in there or not?
I don't know yet. I think they will have them. Let me see. Somebody said.
At least there is DNA there. You know, they had a suspect pretty quick with him, and it took them 5 years with this case, or over 5 years.
So somebody said here, I understand people having doubts about the state's procedures and the lack of strong proof, and I think this criticism is good, but one thing is to have a critical and neutral standing, and another is to be fervous defender of Richard Allen, and I can't understand. I also thought it was weird to see so many YouTubers and Twitters strongly defending Richard Allen since the trial started. He is not a celebrity or something. For me, some of it doesn't look organic.
Look how people defended Chris Watts.
You know, it's just so strange.
I live within 45 minutes of Delphi. I saw the coverage when they went missing and the next day when they were found. I followed for years in between, mostly to stay aware when there were updates. I never commented or speculated, but I just wanted to stay in the loop. The past few weeks I've been keeping tabs by watching the morning news, but there were a few days I missed and glanced up and to see if someone else had summarized what's been going on. It's been like a completely different place. Let's see. It's been upsetting enough to me that I've used my personal account to try to add perspective as someone in central Indiana. Okay, I want justice for Abby and Libby. I want their families to be able to have closure. I want that for locals. I want us to feel safe again. I used to go hiking with my best friend when I was their age all the time. Let's see, I will probably never hike alone with my dog again regardless, but I don't want my heart jumping in my throat because there's a lone male hiker that came up behind me. That said, I feel a sense of relief that the trial is unfolding. I think Richard Allen is Bridge Guy. I think Bridge Guy is responsible for the murders, and I plan to go on a hike by myself at my favorite off-the-beaten-path trail system the day he's convicted in honor of Abby and Libby. And it says, I think the jury will likely convict, but I'm sure there's a small chance of a mistrial. I hope that doesn't happen for the sake of Abby and Libby's family. They deserve to rest in peace knowing the person who destroyed their lives is in prison and they and their loved ones are safe. They deserve closure and healing. Let's see here. So much attention, so many theories, so many YouTube theories, so many points of view. Everyone and everything is a conspiracy. According to most of them, there's a conspiracy from top to bottom. Everything's been rigged against Richard Allen. For what reason? Depends on the day. Honestly, I don't believe Richard Allen has as many supporters as we may think. Internet trolls with nothing better to do. My presumption is they all gather in the same spaces. They pollute any story with their nonsense because they're glued to their pocket computers 24/7. They're so damn diehard. Where were the 7 people at a groundswell event? I believe it has to be the same core people pulling in saps who know no better. They can cry crocodile tears of injustice, unfair treatment for Richard Allen all day long. Yet where are they? People are staying the night outside just to get a seat in the courtroom. Richard Allen supporters are so hell-bent on how horrible his treatment was, but all they do is espouse nonsense on the internet. They don't show up for the guy, and they never will. It's manufactured outrage. I'm going to get roasted for this. Richard Allen's day is coming, and they can all eat their hats and find a new child, something killer to support. They'll forget about Richard Allen faster than you can say FAFO. They're opportunists, feigning outrage. Ignore them. Justice is coming for Abby and Libby. I don't know. I think there's a part of me that thinks they're going to find him guilty. Maybe there's just a couple of people that are holding out that they're trying to change them.
That's what I think too, and that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Maybe they just want to. Maybe there's a couple of people that are really like, oh wait, I've just got to hear that again. I've got to be sure. You know.
Yeah.
But maybe the majority have found him guilty. I mean, I think if they don't have something by Monday after having this long weekend,
Yeah.
they don't have a verdict by Monday night.
It's not going to be good. I don't think.
I don't think.
Everything that's happened wrong in this trial, it could be overturned if he is convicted.
I agree. There's a lot in this. Everybody, a new judge, and everybody needs to get their ducks in a row. more testing, all this stuff needs to be done. That's why I said, I hope, if he's not found guilty, I hope it's hung so we can redo this mess.
Me too. I think it should be because it's going to be returned even if he is found guilty.
Right.
Yeah, I
There's
know,
just-
Lynn. Either did I. I would have liked to have heard the voice. I would like to see
Yeah.
his interrogation. But
Oh,
yeah.
you mean to talk?
Yeah, I would want to hear him talk. Like, I don't know what his voice sounds like. You know. I know what the
Well,
bridge
you-
guy says down the hill, but
You can hear his voice on some of the clips that they have out of him.
yeah, but I mean, like, I want to hear him in an interrogation.
See him. I don't want to just hear him. I want to see him, his body language, and
Yeah.
the first time they or talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's up for 2 days now.
And what was his demeanor when he told, why would you go up to a police officer and say, oh, hey, I was on the bridge,
But look at Jodi Arias. She called them up.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
she just, she wanted to know how the investigation was going. and
Right.
if she was suspect. But so I'm assuming that there was no description of him when he
I gotta
told
go
him.
lay down, you guys. I love you guys. I gotta
I
go.
love you.
All right, love you.
Hey, night, honey.
Night.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I can't believe it's 6. It's 6 in the morning.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah.
Go down this rabbit hole, huh?
I know. This is nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till the other trial starts.
And we've got a whole day
I
where
thought-
they're not going to do anything tomorrow. They just going to sit around and think.
I thought I'd be all up in that Sarah Boone, but I don't know.
That
what
was, I
happened.
don't know. That wasn't. We saw so much of it before,
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
and I don't know what it was. It was just very.
At least because we knew all of it.
Yeah, we knew her defense from day one, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she meant to kill him. I really think she passed out, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear enough of it other than what I saw of her.
Yeah, and I still haven't found out that trial that I did want to see. I can't think of which one it was, but oh boy, we better go. I better go close this down now. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'm sure there'll be, who knows what might come out by tomorrow if Kevin stays up a third day.
Okay.
All right,
We
I
won't.
love you guys. God bless, prayers, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to end the stream.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Love
night.
y'all.
Love
See you
y'all.
tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Hey.
Let me end this one.